I still don't understand how American Idol is still on the fucking air. That show is so pointless.
Because it's practically free.
Because Americans like idols.
Right, I understand that, but like, why do people watch? Like, it wouldn't be there if no one watched it. There'd be no point.
Moses would be pissed.
Moses probably would be best because they're raising a false idol.
Scorn's getting a Hydra.
Let's talk more religion and politics.
Scorn's getting a bird. They're going to pull a big switcheroo. Circle's getting the Hydra,
Max,
bro.
Max, did you hear about it? The thunder thing? The bird? It's the word.
Zapdos.
Zapdos.
That's right, we have that recorded.
We need to actually...
Yes! Is that the start of the episode? Hello and welcome to the Learned Wargame audio podcast. This is Brandon, or PG Mutus on the forums. This is episode 21, and today we're talking about spoilers?
We're not really.
Keynotes, things that they tell us things are coming.
Yes.
That.
They pictured things and we look at them.
We saw pictures, now we're going to yell about how
We
underpowered
make
the
a
pictures
whole bunch
are.
of shit up.
I'm going to complain about the underpoweredness of my pictures.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm going to love them. I'm going to be completely happy that they exist.
Okay.
This is Max, Age of Egos on the forums. Come find me at Daka Daka.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm a moderator. I'm real cool.
This was Spence. He used to be on the forums. Not anymore. He hates... I'm sorry. I gotta talk into the mic.
Well, you're looking at the TV.
She's hot. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, Max, turn off the TV.
Yeah, turn off the TV because someone can't focus.
I'm sorry. Like, you don't put women on the TV and expect me to not look at them. That's like I've trained myself.
Look with your eyes, not with your neck.
But the TV's over there. Shut up. Anyway,
what's your fucking name already?
I'm Spence, I think. Yeah.
Is it just Spence or like Spence? Anything?
Just Spence on the forums.
Okay.
Here I'm Spence.
Okay.
Jeremy, stop giving me that look. No, on the forums it's
look of
Spence.
sheer disappointment.
That's my name on the other forums.
The other forums.
This is Jeremy, and I don't wear pants.
He's lying. I'm seeing pants in that. Oh, never mind.
We're breaking the fourth wall.
The reason we're not using the camera right now.
Because we couldn't get approved from YouTube.
Because you can only pelvic thrust the camera for so many hours before it just becomes monotonous. Even with Jeremy's magnificent manscaping, I wasn't quite sure you could get that shaped into a flamingo.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm Lord Fool, by the way.
Okay.
Lord Fool.
So, we are podcasting from the future and the past at the same time. The SmogCon spoilers/keynote, whatever you want to call it, was released today. We now know officially that Gargantuans are coming out again. And they're totally going to be good this time. But first...
I doubt they're going to be good.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be on par.
Yeah, they're going to be real bad. On par with, like, the Archangel, maybe. Okay, so first we're going to mention the Colossals that were spoiled at TempleCon.
Yeah.
So clearly the best, the Hurricane.
Stop it.
Why?
Well, they have to make it playable,
Yeah,
which means it's going to be the best.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. They don't have to make it good.
Playable in the faction means it's got to be on par with the Storm Wall.
To be fair, they did give it one higher power guns and electrical guns, so they can do things with that at least. Even if it's not considered the most competitive, it is arguably better in some situations.
Electrical guns?
Yeah.
I know where that could be useful.
Nemo 3.
I'm going to give you a small, like, slow, dramatic clap for that one. That was awesome.
It could be
Nemo needs
useful
another electrical jack?
in a
That's
weird
true.
game where you take the Convergence new one and the new other one
Zapdos.
that we haven't talked about.
No. Shut up.
Oh yeah, the new Convergence one.
Yeah, the Convergence one.
Which you're going to have to remind
The
me.
Prime
what
Conflux, which we'll get to momentarily.
Oh.
Okay, so anything we want to bring up about the Hurricane?
Hurricane has an arc node.
Instead of a storm pod?
We
apparently?
don't have any idea range of guns. We know that they're supposed to be one higher POW. So POW 16 instead of the big guns.
They have
saying
like
12
a
now.
push effect.
Saying 12.
That might be on the small guns. I don't know that we know for certain.
Okay, that's true. I don't really remember.
Are we sure the Jack just isn't able to perform a push attack, and that's all they're talking about?
I'm pretty sure.
All the Jacks can do a push attack.
I think they specifically say the guns have a push effect.
I don't know that we know for certain it's the big ones, but it might be.
Right, it could be.
But I think if it's the big ones, it'll severely hinder the range. I think they could be all the way down to range 10 at that point.
Yeah.
It is a snipe faction, I mean. So
I could see range 10, POW 16 pushes.
You could put a Cygnus on anything and I'd hate it. That's kind of where I'm at with this piece of shit.
So do you guys think they'll be able to arc and melee? A lot of people have been saying they think it has to, just because it's a Colossal, and I don't think that's true at all.
Maybe it's not.
I can't see that being logical.
It's already a ranged Jack. It's not going to want to be in melee necessarily, but I feel like if your Colossal's in melee, you either have overextended or they're already to you and you don't need an arc node.
Well, and it has guns that push out, so you can shoot the things that you're engaged with to push them out and then arc afterwards.
Or just kill it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's how I feel about most arc nodes.
And it kind of
once it's engaged, it's pretty much where you want it to be anyway, and moving your caster up to.
But the Crix arc nodes don't want to be engaged usually.
Yeah, but that's why you have like 800 of them.
Yeah, they're like -4 points. I think.
And they can walk away and take that free strike.
Sometimes you roll a little bit to the 3. I think I can't remember.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think
no,
they
it's the 4. Sorry,
it's like a fucking Rubik's cube for their fucking hit points, so it doesn't really matter.
Fucking hurricane. Like, why does it exist?
Okay, so I think it would make sense for the electro guns to have the push effect because the battle engine has a push effect.
Warmare rises and meets over the ocean.
Are you discussing why hurricanes exist?
You did ask.
Thank you for coming to learn Wargame so Max can pretend to be a fucking meteorologist.
I think the Jack
just as good
Point
as
at the
any
map.
on
Like,
TV.
over here, we have some rough terrain.
Over here we have some high air.
The hand gestures are really helping.
The air is high.
The camera's not on.
Spence,
And
2
over
of us
here-
have actually studied meteorology.
That's
like,
true.
I've been to a place where they do newscasting. Does that count?
No.
Okay.
I've been to a place where they do
I have the fucking
newscasting.
internet. Do I care what meteorologists do for a living?
Oh, it's sad.
Like, I just...
Oh, no, yeah, you just make up shit.
Yeah.
Brian Busby
Whatever,
can ask
I guess
all
the
of my
plane
D.
crashed.
Friend of mine
And by
was
that I mean suck all of my dick.
at Taco John's, and he was in
I wasn't
line,
questioning.
and he was telling his son that it's supposed to snow tomorrow, and the guy interrupted him while he was talking to his son. I was like, "Excuse me, sir, I'm an amateur meteorologist. I just want to let you know that we're expecting a quarter inch." And he was like, "Why did you talk to me?" It's like someone so desperate for attention.
Like, okay, no, I have several questions about that, okay?
all of
Several.
which involved me calling the police.
All right.
No, my
To
first
be
question
fair,
is
he
very...
probably did have a notebook that he
Before
went
we
outside
go-
every day and like,
I really have
Too
to...
far. Can we move on to the next call?
No, I have to
We
ask
can't go past
I have to
this.
ask these very few questions. Okay, number one. What grown man ever admits in public to being an amateur meteorologist?
The only thing you admit to be an amateur to is a tattoo artist.
Like,
Everyone
I want
knows
to...
that.
That's
to be
just...
fair, I'm an amateur lawyer.
Amateur porn star.
Amateur lawyer, I can tell you there's no way you get arrested for that.
Okay. I'll do it.
And two,
Where's a kid? I want to punch him in the face.
where is this place and why are you claiming to have friends that went there?
Taco John's.
I would defriend anybody.
That's
Facebook or not. For
I
going
don't
to
really
Taco
like Taco
John's.
John's. Their potato lays are okay once every 6 months.
I just,
You can handle the salt.
That's true. You have to shake it really hard to get all the salt off. All right,
much
so
like Taylor Swift said.
yes,
Got it.
No, more like an Italian baby.
Italian babies. Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Next
All right,
week.
moving on.
Shaking
Wargame.
nuts, too.
What is next? The Kador one?
Victor. Yeah, let's go Victor.
I
Okay.
love Victor.
Victor. Victor
His
is
name is Victor.
Victor is the first
Victor is
incarnation
the first
of.
character Colossal.
Clearly, we fucked up, and we just want to try again. That's what I feel like. on Victor.
No.
No, that's
He's
clearly
awesome.
what happened.
The best thing about him is if you call any other one by its name, no one cares. But his name is Vic. I mean, Victor. Vic.
No, I like it. Like I like Victor. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm really excited for Victor.
I don't even care what his guns do. I love his name.
Auto fire.
Wait.
That was on the list.
Most likely flare, auto fire, and
It might.
terrain.
It might be like. What's that?
I don't think it's
stupid
going to do
ability?
flare. I think it's just that.
it's going to be a similar effect.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be just straight up minus defense. I think like some kind of like
So
earth shaking.
is it everything under the template?
Yeah.
It says models hit suffer negative to defense or lose some sort of defense. So it could just be flare, but
And
since it already
it's
does-
not all of those effects. It's just
we expect it
choose
to be
one.
one of three. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
we
still expecting it to
I'm
have a
guessing it's
min
going to
range.
be. It may have a minimum range, but I kind of don't think so.
I don't expect it to, but it does have looks like auto cannon. So I'm kind of expecting it could be Rat 5 or maybe 6, but the main gun is definitely going to be inaccurate. Because if you look at the little guns, they're shooting direct shots, not AoEs. So it's going to have some way to make those good. And I hope it's not...
It's called Sorsha.
No, I hope it's...
Grip.
Why not? Just fuck it, let it be. I don't care if it's inaccurate.
If it's
gun.
Rat 4 and it's shooting single-shot small guns, then it's going to be terrible.
I'm guessing they'll be D3
because it's going to have
guns.
A single gun.
I'm guessing both those guns will be D3.
Well, it doesn't matter if they're D3 if they're Rat 4.
It does.
If they're POW 16 guns,
it depends on their range.
Brandon,
I highly doubt they'll be higher than range 12.
what if it's a subcortex?
We'll see.
It doesn't matter if it's subcortex.
With a different rat.
That doesn't matter. Then why don't you just make it inaccurate and raise the rat? That's the same thing.
Nah.
Okay.
You seriously think they're going to take a Khador Warjack?
I'm not saying it's going to be Rat 6. I'm saying this, if there was ever going to be a Warjack that could be Rat 6, it would be this one, and it's going to have inaccurate on the
I'm
main
going
gun.
on paper right now saying it's not going to be Rat 6.
I don't expect it to be Rat 6, but if it's not Rat 5 and the secondary guns don't have some way to get extra accuracy, I expect it to be
the big
somehow.
gun. Yeah, that's the point of the big gun.
But the big gun is obviously going to have an extremely longer range than the small guns,
and
which
dual
makes
purpose.
them not good unless it's shooting things at short
Which
range.
is why I think it's going to be a rear type unit, because it's going to have that minimum range.
I could definitely see those autocannons being range 14. You don't have to worry about sniping that faction.
I think it's meant to be sit there, aim.
And that's kind of what I was thinking.
They do have really long barrels.
Yeah.
Really
You're
long
right.
barrels.
It's a cannon versus the other short, stubby guns, but they were kind of just lobbing shells and praying.
I could see it.
I'm assuming this is going to have maybe more boxes, but probably same boxes as Conquest.
I'd be very surprised
second
on
most
more
boxes in the game, armor 20. He's going to shoot guns that are long range, and he's going to aim most of the time and say, come at me, have enough boxes to survive it, and then beat the shit out of it.
I would assume it's going to have pretty much all the same basic stats. I can't imagine they would change anything.
I think it'll be Def 9.
Okay. You can think
Game breaking.
You can think that. I do feel it's slightly frustrating that the Conquest isn't the best at anything it does, other than just base POW on its fists.
That's something
But
it does.
every other faction can get better at everything with a spell. There's nothing it really does that none of the others can do. Because the Creeping Barrages, obviously, cover fires are better. You know, the main gun, it doesn't have the best main gun. It doesn't have it's got arguably the highest based armor, but there's 3 or 4 other Colossals or Gargantuan Colossals that have the same armor. It doesn't have the most boxes. It doesn't have the highest mat. It has the highest base POW on its fists, but other factions can get equal to or higher easily. Like the Judicator, for instance, is the same POW.
Yes.
If you took Choir, oh no.
Wait.
But it's also mat 8,
Who
not
takes
mat
Choir?
6.
The last tournament I went to, I just didn't take Choir in either
That
one.
makes it 20 points, though.
Right. So it's 1 point more
It's
than
like
mine,
the
and it's
ret
mat
one
8.
is 20
I'll pay
points.
20 points for a Conquest that's mat 8. Be more than happy to do that.
It's never going to happen.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
And I
See, that's the thing. You can take an Infernal Machine Caster, and it's mat 8!
Yeah.
Max is all happy about that.
He is very happy about this. I'm not saying I love the Conquest. It's perfect character for the faction, but I think it should have had an extra point of stats.
The
somewhere.
Conquest is all right and all, but he's no Victor.
No, I fully expect Victor to be better. I don't think he will be better if the secondary guns don't have some way to become better than like Rat 4, POW 12. If they're like POW 14s, I can shoot at low defense
I think
things.
they'll
That's
be like
something.
14 range D3 shots.
That would be good. I could argue that is worth it for not being Rat 5.
Because
Let's see
it's
the rifle team.
The rifle
Stats.
teams?
They're 14-10. Or, wait.
Like
Are you talking
long
the Retribution
yeah,
one?
rifle
the-
core?
No, the light artillery.
So the
The
Retribution,
Retribution one. The heavy rifle team.
14-7
No, the
armor
Winter
piercing.
Guard. Like,
Oh, the
gun.
field
Oh,
gun.
yeah,
field
field gun. Sorry.
Are they 14-14? That's possible.
I don't know.
Can someone check that?
I'm not sure at all.
If only there was some sort of phone application you could use to look
Yeah,
up
but mine's
that.
not
Why is there
booted
not
up,
a
so it's going
PC
to take
version?
20 minutes.
Oh.
And it'll probably just be a black screen when I get in.
Can we
But-
move on to the best?
Not just yet. So I want to point out, you said Victor. What if the hurricane was called Sally because it's the name of the hurricane?
Really?
Because they have female names, right?
We're not going to go with
no.
Katrina?
I'm shutting
No,
Brandon.
it should have been definitely Sally.
Andrew? Hurricane Andrew? That's
Yeah.
a female name?
It is.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. There we go. I turned Brandon's mic off.
Okay, so
I could just shout, and then everyone will hear me through other mics.
I'll just shut all the other ones off then.
this is a terrible plan. So, I do like the idea of naming all of them. Let's backpedal here real quick. What was the first one you mentioned? Which stupid faction was that?
Signar. Sally. Definitely Sally.
You know what? If I was going to give anybody...
Range 16.
16,
POW
POW
14.
What if it was 20, 16, 16?
What?
I'm saying main gun 20, 16, 16.
It's not going to happen.
But maybe POW 14. Like these.
Range 60. If they were field guns, if they were single shot, I might believe it. If they were D3 shots, there's no way.
There's no way they're going to make them single shot. I don't think they're going to make that mistake again by giving a focus reliant one under a certain amount of average shots.
What if all these new ones are characters?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because Victor, I mean, it's a name one, but what if they are making them intentionally slightly better, but intentionally thinking you can't take two
but
of
with
them?
the name like Revelator.
Right. I mean,
Victor's
it's
the only
fucking
one
mean off.
that
They can name
sounds
their
like-
shit whatever they want to. They've
Yeah,
already
they do
proven
kinda
that.
get away
But
with what
Victor's
they're
is the only one that sounds like an actual name. I guess Hurricane maybe.
Because it's like a character.
I
Stormlight.
honestly don't see it happening just because
I'm not saying it is. It's just
but it
it's
would be
interesting
awesome.
theory. Yeah.
I love the idea of a character colossal.
Definitely more so with Victor because he's clearly just a conquest with some character.
I do
added to
like
it.
that that's also going to happen with him just because of the way English works. People are going to refer to it as Victor, not as a hurricane or not as
It's not a
hurricane.
Victor. It's
This
Victor.
is. I'm going to move the Victor. I'm going to move Victor. I like that. He has a name. So one way or another, it's kind of like a pseudo character. Kind of like the way Behemoth isn't a character, but is a character.
Yeah.
It's like there are 7 of these fucking assholes. They're all named
I think
Behemoth.
it's 4, but yeah.
I just fucking hate that.
Okay, so moving on. The Revelator.
Okay, now honestly,
The
they're
Revealer.
lying to us. They're lying to us is what it was, okay? Because we know how Metoth players are, i.e. me. Instead, it's going to be a purely melee colossal. Purely melee, okay? It's going to have a huge shield that gives it 4 armor and a reach 4, like 4-inch reach massive sword. It's going to be PS 25, okay? And this thing is just going to walk across about the with ages, and it's going to melee wreck shit. That's how good it's
trying
going
to
be.
turn your mic off because you clearly lost your goddamn mind.
How far in the future have we gone?
Okay, that's not what the Revelator does. That's not anything at all that's ever
What
been said.
pictures were you looking at?
But tell me, I mean, come on.
You were looking
Can I
at the
describe
wrong
this
Facebook
before
page.
you just derail us completely?
Yes.
It's Adjudicator. It might have different nipple guns, but likely the same.
I don't
And
think
you
so.
replace the rocket batteries with giant Vanquisher cannons. And then its fluff burb was it can see through stealth and possibly remove stealth, basically.
I've heard 2 different ideas as to how it removes stealth. One, I guess kind of makes sense. The other one I feel like is a complete load of shit. And the one being its main guns, the one that look like Vanquisher flame belchers up on its shoulders,
Yep.
that if they hit a model, it's no longer stealthed. I just thought that would be like such a complete load of shit. Like I'd be so mad.
No,
I think that's what it'll be.
can I give you my 2 interpretations? One is going to be that the model's literally unplayable, and it's exactly like Targeting Beacon, which is I place the AoE completely within its range, and models in the AoE lose stealth, but that's all it does. It doesn't do damage. That would be just so fucking terrible. And then 2 is that it personally ignores stealth, as some ability lets ignore stealth, and then whenever
I
it
think they pretty much
hits,
said that.
also loses stealth. I think that would be fine.
But I think these are...
It sounded like whatever it hits.
But also, if it's not inaccurate, that means you're going to have effectively a Rat 7 huge fucking AoE 4 plus cannon times 2 on
The
a...
idea is that it's going to see through stealth.
It's going to light things up
you
for you.
You don't care about stealth infantry anyways. You're Menoth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to shoot.
Vanquisher cannons?
I
Lilith
thought
too.
you said something else.
Oh, no.
It's going to shoot the stealth heavy, and
Yes.
then the rest of your army can shoot. That's what I think it'll do.
That's...
Because honestly, you want to... Even if you want to kill 2 heavies in one turn, and you're playing Fjord 2, let's say, you plug 2 different heavies with the main guns, and then you just light them up with Reckoners, and then you just blow them off too. It's good. Calm down. Calm down.
It'll be fine.
The Revealer is going to be fine.
I'm sure.
Revelator?
I
The
bet
Revealer?
The Revealer. Shut up! It's the Revelator. It's the party bot.
I'm pretty sure the nipple guns will be different too.
I'm...
They look the same, but
No, they
it
look
looks
different in the
similar. It looks similar. I don't... Yeah.
They have chambers on the side of them for actual bullets as opposed to the flames just being a little...
Yeah, they're little, like...
either way,
they're
I don't
little,
think they would reuse the same.
They're little brass cylinders of napalm.
Yeah.
So do we think it's still
just
going to
open.
generate its own focus?
I would be
I don't think
surprised
it's gonna
if
happen.
I would be surprised if it doesn't have a reliquary, honestly, because it's the same chassis.
It's
Yeah,
got
but
a dead priest inside.
that's
of it.
actually
That's
the-
how it sees through
that's
stealth.
its superstructure, though.
Maybe.
That's Judicator Superstructures, the Reliquary. I don't think it's going to have it. I think it's Reliquary, or whatever it has is going to be.
It has very
wants to be
similar
their scale.
shoulders, if that means anything.
It's not on the shoulders. It's actually a little thing right here up on the tip of its back. I can see it not having it very easily.
Yeah, that's true. But
I mean, it's a one focus and it's Menoth. We don't care.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Like, that's never been something like, oh, it gets this.
It's now 19 points and you take Rex.
I seriously think Menoth needs a complete melee Colossal, though.
No.
It'd be amazing.
That'd be so terrible.
We would play it and we would love it.
No, you would play it.
Yes. Yes,
So,
I would.
Would we call it the Avatar?
Is there anything else?
Would it be like an exemplar Colossal?
Well, there's... Yes.
We're never going to get off this fucking model now.
You just did that. Max tried to do it.
I tried to get
Max knows what he's doing, okay? The man's a genius.
I'm just glad I'm not wearing pants right now.
Oh, so am I.
You might need a new table, Brandon.
So, I'm saying,
This is my table.
there have been some thoughts as to how big the guns are actually going to be. Seeing as how...
That one you can just wipe off.
I'm going to let these two keep going. So the Redeemer rockets are what the Judicator's rockets are most similar to, but they lost 2 range and gained 2 power.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not the exact same gun. So if they are flame belchers like they are on the Vanquisher, are they going to be range 10, power 14?
No, they're going to be range 8, power 16. I don't know if that's actually better. I think that's worse.
That is.
What if it's range 12, power 14?
We take it in R because it's only 2 inches better and we like that more.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think you're actually, it's not going to be the exact same weapon. I think it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, they're just larger inherently, so I'd expect some range.
It'll
increase.
probably have covering fire.
Now,
it could have the Incinerators order or the
Does it
Incinerator.
have firewalls?
The fucking Flame Guard cleansers, where you can put down the fire AoE aura.
Okay.
Yeah.
The covering clouds?
Yeah, the covering
Even
clouds
better
of
than
fire.
covering
Yeah.
fire?
And then you can
What about the flame wall?
Yeah, well, no, then you take cleansers, you put flame walls and more. You could take 3 units
Why
of cleansers.
the fuck would you need a flame
And just
wall?
put-
They already take
put-
the damage coming into the cloud.
You put 4 or 5 inch cloud effects that cost fire in front of your army. Just like, go. I don't even care what happens now. Next. Literally, that's your entire army, though. But it would be amazing.
Pharaoh tier then goes, okay, everything on your army's on fire. I'm taking all of that, leaving it where it's at, giving me all the focus. So I'm going to go through and kill every model you own.
Talking about it, I think there's 3 casters in the game that can currently take 3 Colossals. If they were FA3. Because it's obviously Gordon. Kaylissa, because she's a +7.
You mean... Go ahead.
You okay,
Okay.
Max?
So +7 casters and then 19 point or fewer huge base Jacks or Beasts. So I can't remember what the third one is now, though. I want to say it's another Merc caster. Anyway, do you think that there's going to be a rule saying that you can't take both types and or more than 2 Colossals?
No.
I don't see that rule hitting.
I don't think triple colossal is good.
Because they could just have Animosity, the other variant, and then way you couldn't take both.
I don't think triple colossal is good. I think 2 colossals is corner case good sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
don't
if
think they'll
Callisto
look
really
to
wanted
restrict that.
3 super heavy Jacks.
Yeah.
I don't think it's broken to run.
I don't think they'll look
Yeah.
to restrict that.
No.
Yeah, I'm just curious what you guys were thinking. Because I was also thinking...
Because I think you'd still want to be able to field the 2 together,
Mm-hmm.
so that rule wouldn't.
Yeah, I can't see it happening.
Me and Max were talking earlier about possibly double victors with Harkovich, because if that AOE is as good as people are thinking it is,
Pathfinder.
being able to broadside and drop 4 of those in a turn could be huge. Anyway, so moving on past the revealer is
The Revelator, you mean?
the revealer.
You and your incapacity to... Oh.
It's the Redeemer,
Yes. The Redeemer.
the Redeemer, the
Radimer.
Redimer. What the hell is next? Crix, the Sepulcher.
I honestly have no idea what the hell it does.
You don't know what it does, or you don't know what you think it might do.
No, I've not read anything about it.
It spawns Mechanothralls and Brute Thralls.
It's a Kraken. It's all going to depend on how it recurs things,
Mhm.
And what it
And-
collects. Yeah.
how it collects, which I kind of include in how it recurs things, and what the fuck the guns are.
Mhm.
Because we know it's kind of 4-inch reach, and maybe they'll make it POW 19, or it'll be slightly higher because it won't be meat fueled, or I don't know.
It'd be cool if it would have
But-
4 melee initials and it could whip you with the guns.
The problem is it's got guns on the end, so I don't think it would do that.
Well, it could just be like lower POW,
Possibly.
like POW 14s, and then
But it's already the other one's already strength 15.
What would
so I
they
assume that'll be a
change?
similar stat.
that's true. Because it's got 2 more tentacle arms with guns on the ends, and then the big unicorn cannon is replaced by a beak cannon. It looks like
It's a shorter
so
one.
like crab beak.
God, I hate the Kraken so much that I think this thing just seems less interesting than everything
I generally
else.
thought the same thing, but I don't know. It's
I
probably
think it
gonna
sounds
be good.
pretty boring, but it could be really good depending on
Yeah,
how
I
it
think with the
collects
ability to
and
make brute
pearls.
Right. Well, the problem is there's so much recursion on Mechanothralls just inherently from the Necrosurgeon. It can't be that good, but
But you have to make it good, or it's not playable.
it could just be a good model regardless
do
of
that
the
with a lot of
recursion
stuff.
mechanic.
It's possible that it's just good, and then it's an extra Necrosurgeon.
Well, a lot of shit comes
They
out
can
that's
do
good that's just not
one
worth
brute
playing.
throw instead.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Like, what's that piece of shit heavy that
it's
just
the
came out
biggest
with
thing
for
is going to
Circle?
be how does it collect and then put them back in play, because if it does it like a Necrosurgeon and it just does it within range 10 and it's anything or something like that,
I can see maybe range 5, but God, 10 is
they already have range
huge-
5.
Right.
This thing doesn't have little guys to go out and collect them for them, so I don't know that it would just be range 5. But it might only be like 6, 7, whatever. 10 was high.
10 is a huge fucking footprint.
It is.
That's a 25-inch.
I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be it's going to be less than what Crix players are probably hoping for, because
I think it has to be. Like,
being able to run 2 of them and then the Mechanothrall boat just seems dumb, because that's double the recursion.
Go with it.
I mean,
No, there are
okay
cheaper,
with it.
really effective versions of recursion that are doing a hell of a lot better in other armies, whereas with Crix, where the undead fuckers don't have the best recursion in the game, why not? Maybe that's what they're going to fix with this. Let's
There's
just speculate
only,
and say, yeah,
in
you
my opinion,
underestimate
only one list that
Mechanothralls.
recurs better than Crix.
I think that's...
And
there's
it's
one.
Axis
It's
tier.
a theme force.
And that's because it has access to 4 things that recur instead of 2.
Like, if there was a theme force that let you have 4 units of Necrosurgeons, I think it'd be a fucking problem. Like, I don't
Really?
know how you beat that list.
Just
It'd
kill
be
the
stupid.
Necrosurgeons.
Okay.
They are a lot easier to kill than...
They are. They're easier to
Foundries.
kill than Foundries.
A hell of a
Well, they
a
get killed
hell-
by different things.
Like,
though.
I mean, a metric shit ton easier to kill than...
But, like, why wouldn't you just play, like, Gaspy 1 tier and just have literally, like, 75 models and then that thing and you just recur infinitely? You just couldn't kill it. You could not kill it in time allotted in a game. Or you take Terminus, all your Mechanothralls and undead things have tough, and then you just put absolutely max Mechanothralls on the table, and then you have basically 3 recursion guys. And then he can put fucking Berserk on the Sepulture, and it's 4-inch reach with Berserk. Like,
Sounds super awesome. You can already do that with Kraken, but mass
Right.
6 kills.
but
it.
just even more recursion.
Why don't they do that?
Exactly.
It's not out
It's because
yet.
their other stuff's better.
Got it.
Anyways, I
Moving
think
on.
that's the most boring one.
Yeah.
It could be good, could be not.
It's
Who
just
knows?
because it's so much based on the stats. and
Does it
everything.
make Bane Thralls?
No.
No.
Okay, so it's probably not going to get played anyway.
Well, actually,
Brute Thralls are freaking awesome. You know they combo strike Mat 6, Pow 19?
That's amazing.
And if it pumps them out as solos,
It won't.
it won't. God, I hope
It
not.
doesn't matter, though. I mean, you don't have to take Brute Thralls. This can put Pow 19s in play. I mean, that's like, what, averaging like 8 to 9 damage on or more on average heavy?
Mhm.
If you go average heavy, it's probably 10.5.
It's actually 11.5. Most heavies are armor 18 or lower.
I mean, that's a lot of damage.
Good.
Anyways, moving on.
My name's Spence.
I just...
Okay, moving on, like he said.
They're not Bane Thralls, so...
Alright, we're going to the sub-factions now. Retribution is getting Helios.
not a
Is
sub-faction anymore. Brandon.
sub-faction. Anyway. They got what they said they could never have, and they said it was bad. I no longer count them as a faction.
Who's getting what?
I listen to the
Retribution.
Steakhouse, and she's the number one caster.
That's fine. Everyone hates her.
Is
Her own faction
Retribution the
hates
one
her
that
best
has,
guy.
like, the snake weapon?
Yes.
Got it. Snake weapon.
Snake.
Anyways, Helios, guns that don't do damage. So, he's either going to be
Bad
unplayable.
start.
I mean,
Yes!
it's literally, it's like, I don't feel like there's going to be a happy medium. He's literally going to have broken abilities that power his army.
I don't think they have to be broken. I just think they have to be quality. There's
or
a-
his gun has to do something retarded, like...
Move models. Like, that's
no,
really
I think
strong.
it needs to do more than that. Or
I
it
know.
has to be, like, multiple shots.
With casters like Ron, that gun might be worth 19 points. On you, the
Why
turn
does
it
Ron
matters.
need an extra way to move you?
It just makes it that much more impossible to stop. Shut up. We're not talking to you right
You don't
now.
want to
Fuck
spend 20
Retribution.
points on something that doesn't do damage in
Yeah.
Ron's list.
It's melee attacks.
Yeah! Anyways,
Do we know the range of the gun?
it's the
Helios
most...
played it
No,
all.
we have no
Okay.
idea.
Probably 10. Hope to God.
I think it'll be 12.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna
we'll
be
see.
punching
They have
things.
snipe in the faction, too.
One caster. I agree. But it doesn't do damage. It moves things. If it's range 16 and it moves you 3 inches closer, there's still not that many things that get to you.
What
it definitely seems like a Ron support.
It does, and that's the way they make it sound, because I think it might be built by the
they even talked
Mage
about
faction or whatever.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was definitely built by the Mage people. They said in the
it's definitely the most interesting one, just because it's completely different design space than they've done with a model like that. But I mean, it's just too early to tell what it'll do. It could be awesome. It could be.
I don't
worthless.
think it's as polarized as the Sepulcher will be. I think the Sepulcher is going to be either absolutely amazing or terrible. But this guy, I think, actually has some design. Depending on what he does, he might be in some list kind of.
Yeah, but the Sepulcher could just have a freaking worthless recursion mechanic, but his guns could then put him over the top.
I'd be surprised if his guns were that much better than the Kraken's. But it's possible.
Spot.
What?
Black Spot.
We'll talk about that later.
It has Black Spot.
Yeah, we know that's why the Kraken gun is good.
Okay. I look at the healers like even if it does move shit, I was like, it's a fucking colossal.
But they do have an ancillary attack on a caster that assigns importance as a feat, and true sight to see through stealth. That's a big deal. You can run it and then shoot someone at, like, if it's 12-inch range. What is that, 22-inch threat on a signs importance shot?
To be fair, it's pretty easy to stop the move path of a huge base.
It is.
That's pretty far out there, doing that.
And you can still block line of sight. I mean...
Mm-hmm.
And pulling and pushing, I mean, it's strong, but it's not...
If it was a place, I would completely
If it was a 3-inch place,
you.
I would say that it doesn't need the other abilities. It's already strong.
But, well, it needs something else. It cannot have no guns that do damage, and only have a single shotgun that places and be good. I don't pay 20 points for a 50%
in their video,
better TK.
it does say pushes enemy models.
Yeah, well, I know it's not going to freaking push yours.
Oh my god, I didn't even consider that.
If it pushed yours, that'd be retarded.
If it placed yours, we're already on board with it's probably the best. Place any model it hits, like, that would be dumb.
If it placed, I would say it could not do other things. Because then you're talking about being able to get heavies over walls and shit like that.
Heavies over walls, rear strikes on casters. And it's already the Colossal with the most hitboxes, assuming they keep the same grid. And then you have armor buffs in the faction. You have good buffs for the Jacks. You've got good Jack support.
It also has a void shield, right?
Right, that's with the shield. It has the most boxes. Yeah, it's the 64 total, if you count shield.
Instead of 62, yeah.
And it regens anyway, right? It's not the Phoenix
Field?
Field?
It's not a Phoenix Field. This one could be, but the other one's not.
Probably unlikely.
But you can spend a focus to regen D3 anytime.
I mean, the whole middle section looks like it's different than...
Yeah, the torso is definitely different. It doesn't have that weird thing on top, but that was the big cannon.
But we'll see.
Okay, so moving on. The Prime Conflux. I am really not impressed
whether
at all.
Whether or not whatever this thing does, and it's supposed to increase electrical damage, doesn't produce different kinds of servitors, makes its own servitor.
Mm-hmm.
We're guessing that probably does the electrical damage increasing.
Yeah.
But
there's just not that much electrical damage in the faction.
They said was going to be limited release. Does it make sense to you that they would get a Colossal and not other things?
Well,
I gotta think they're getting maybe not full.
No, I think they're getting more stuff than just this.
A Warcaster, and at least one other thing.
Well,
I think they're getting at least 3 models.
They've already added the Warcaster in High Command.
Right, and so that's one of the reasons I think they're getting that.
Well, to be fair, though, that doesn't necessarily mean a lot.
It doesn't.
I forget its name, but
it's already in the design space at that point.
Yeah.
Right, no, I agree.
DC was saying that they pretty much want to add everything that's in High Command into Warmachine at some point.
Okay, so it's some weird dude that shoots beams of energy, I don't know. It's like a Father the Syntherian combo, it looks like.
Shut up.
Well, the weird thing's going to be...
Are you serious?
Not like in rules, but in appearance.
The weird thing's going to be is that they've taken up all the Mat and Rat numbers from 7.2 all the way down up to
6.5.
6.5 as being the highest.
9.9.
He's going to be a 5.6, isn't he?
He could be like a 6.4, right?
There's already a 6.4.
Who's the 6.4?
I mean, nobody plays her, but it's Aurora.
Aurora's a 6.4?
Yeah.
He could be a 6.6. I mean,
I doubt it'd go 6.6.
I would
but
too.
He might be a shooting caster or something like that. But anyways,
I don't know that they would ever do a 5.6. 5.6 is pretty crippling. But the thing I had the problem with is because
you have a 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, but she has a way to get around it too.
It goes back to what Max was saying earlier. I think honestly, when it comes to looking at the conflicts here, The Axiom does so many things.
Well, right. So
and it's guaranteed 8 shots a turn.
You're giving up tow cables. You're giving up guaranteed 8 shots. But I still think that there's got to be more things coming out, and I don't think they're going to. I would not be surprised if it's just a caster and a colossal in this book. This might be their colossal release.
I think that's possible, but I think they're going to get like a light jack or another warjack.
They could.
Another warjack probably makes sense. A light jack, maybe.
The problem is how many electrical damage abilities are in their faction right now.
Syntherion's gun and the modulator. I'm pretty sure.
And we're assuming the Conflux. That's 3 models in their faction generate electrical damage. And their colossal specifically adds to it. So either it's balanced, assuming it's only boosting itself, and maybe one other modulator. Or
is the TEP's attack electric?
I'm very sure it's not, but I will check. I was pretty sure it's not.
Who's a TEP?
The battle engine.
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
Nope. But I just don't. It's going to have to be crazy good.
We don't know pretty much anything. We know it increases electrical damage. And that's
it's a very similar looking chassis. It replaces the tow cables, which what looks like electrical, like railgun kind of things. But I mean, it can't be ridiculous. But the problem is also if it spawns servers in the same way as the other one does, it spawns within 2 inches, which means it's going to have a huge area of effect because it spawns during activation. Then it's not going to get its own bonus unless it's firing point blank. Unless it's like friendly models within the aura get +2 to hit and damage with electrical attacks.
Which then it would just be giving itself +2 to hit and damage.
Right. Or like maybe the modulator near it, but for the most part, it would just be boosting itself. That's why I'm just worried.
Well, it puts it into play, and then it's a solo after the first
right, but then it's easy to like negate its whole point by then
I don't think it'll make it worthless.
I agree, but I just feel like people might get afraid of playing it because like, oh, they'll just shoot my servitor and I won't get any bonuses. But it's like it probably won't happen.
And once they add a servitor type like that, I assume you can just take it and play too.
I would assume not.
Maybe.
Kind of like a storm pod, I would expect it to be. It's the only way you could get it, but maybe not. But then why the hell would you take that? You just take the army of modulators and those servitors.
I don't know. You can't take the mother servitors.
Yeah, she's got her own servitors too. They don't spawn.
I feel like that's a little different.
They just start
a little
play.
different.
Yeah.
But that's a good thought I just had. It won't be able to do that because otherwise the Axiom would just spawn its servitors, and you'd take the Axiom with the modulators.
Yeah, you take a bunch of you play Syntherium with Prime Axiom, bunch of modulators, and it would spawn the new one servitors. That would be, or like why the Prime Axiom can't spawn the battle engine servitors because that would be freaking stupid too. Does what?
Does its fist look different? I'm looking at the picture.
Yeah, it used to have the drill fist. Yeah. I think it's got something. It's got like pinchy claws now.
It doesn't have sustained attack. Yeah. Probably.
I would very much expect it to not.
Let's take sustained attack. Let's take all these things away from it.
It'll probably have trash because the freebooter is trash and it's got the clamps.
There we go.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
It's gonna have stupid trash. Rock base.
Oh my god!
It does still have the poop base.
Ugh.
Okay, so we're probably done with Colossals. By the way, dwarves are getting a battle engine, and the rumor is it's a transport.
Shut up!
I'm not kidding at all. I've seen pictures of it.
It's not going to be a transport.
I think it's going to be a transport.
Let's introduce transport rules.
It doesn't look like a transport.
I think
Introduce rules.
It looks just like the gun carriage.
I'm not saying it's going to be a transport. I heard rumors it's going to be a transport.
The gun carriage is...
Call it now. Transport.
You heard it first here.
It might not be.
And maybe if it has tow.
But let's be honest.
Yeah. When it's wrong. Just FYI.
Feel free. I have a spam folder. But let's be honest, the gun carriage is pretty much a letdown in every possible aspect.
No.
It looked kind of cool.
It's pulled by horses.
The only letdown about that is that it's pulled by horses.
If it had a dozer blade on the front, I would have been happy. I would have bought one.
Imagine if they had, like, steam engines in this world. They could potentially make
I know, if they had, like, big machines that drove themselves and not pulled by horses.
Well, but they're using all the coal other places.
They do have big beasts in this game as well.
They do.
Just saying.
How many of your beasts are pulled by horses?
These are big, beastly horses.
I think I just decided what my next mod is going to be.
You're going to put horses in front of the
I have my bronze back riding a horse. He's going to have a cowboy hat.
I'm on board with this more than the normal fucking gun carriage. Although I did come up with the idea.
So we're now taking applications for a new host.
We should put 6 war dogs pulling the gun carriage, and it would be fucking legit. It'd look like a...
I can never get 6 at a time.
I know, yeah. It's dumb.
That's terrible.
Okay, so moving on to the real releases.
Dun, dun, dun.
Glacial King.
Stop it.
Hold on. Is it Glacial King or Glacier King?
It's glacial.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Spence is wrong and says glacial. Actually, I think it's better glacial. So it's clearly like the victor is just, we messed up on the Mountain King, let's make the same thing, and just better. We'll see.
Except for this one actually has a crown of ice.
The concept art actually does look really cool. I like his pose.
It does, because they based on the original Mauler as opposed to just an angry troll.
Did you hear that from the video?
Yeah, where they said things.
The original Mauler is the only reason I play Trolls right now, because I saw that model, I was like, this guy looks so angry, I gotta buy this, and I started Trolls.
I want it to not fail. I hate Trolls, but I really want it to not fail
It is
bad.
Glacier King.
Glacier King, okay, good.
Spence failed.
Yeah.
I did like...
I'm going to see a solid Mat 6 coming in on this one.
If it's not Mat 6... Okay, I will argue it is very possible it will be Mat 5. However, its Animus or its Fist will have something to increase its Mat.
I saw somebody actually put something on Twitter. I think they actually asked some guy, I think it might be Will Schick. I don't know.
Someone that might be Will Schick.
I don't know the guy's name because I don't memorize all these assholes' names. I'm sorry.
If I lived in Seattle, I would just start walking by his house, be like, just so you know, if I see a Mat 5 on that card, I'm going to be back. I know where you fucking live.
Well, no, somebody actually, I think they put it on Twitter or one of those fucking websites, and they said...
It's a joke.
Was it really?
I'm pretty sure it was on the troll Facebook forum.
Yeah, but the guy actually responded.
Go. What did it say? How about
the guy said something about how can you confirm that the Mountain King will be the only Mat 5 Colossal? And then he responded yes. And then somebody responded immediately afterwards like, it's confirmed, Mat 4.
Now, to be fair,
because troll players seem to think
he
they
can't
don't
have a
get
low
shit.
Mat because of his Animus.
What's his Animus?
Frozen
Knocks
ground.
everything down.
Right, and I've heard people speculating on this. They think it might be like the Sorsha Bond, where if you end your activation within 2, then you become knocked down. Or it could be like the Bart Feat, where if you just advance into it, you're knocked down, which I don't think that will be true. Because some people were saying that, I was like, there is no way it is immune to non-steady things. There's no way.
Show him.
That's what.
What if it's?
I believe you. Okay.
What if it's just a pulse on its turn, like Krios?
Well, Schick said
like I cast my Animus, everything is knocked down.
Yeah,
that's better.
Okay, that's good. I think it's probably that would probably actually be better than like a defensive animi that says if you end your activation within 2, you're knocked down. But they already have so many things like that, like the it burns and all the things like if you hit the elemental trolls, you take this. You could put Chiller on it.
I think it'll be a really, really awesome spell, kind of like the Animus that the Archangel has.
Nice. So I'm going to cast this, and if you lose next turn, the models engaged with this model are stationary.
Yes.
And it does have big frosty fist.
I'm very sure it has crit freeze.
What the hell is Wind Throw?
Wind
That's
throw?
his shooting.
He has a
attack.
gun. Yeah. His other one is called Deadly Roar. He yells at you and kills you.
I can at least understand a Deadly Roar being
He
actually
can kill Warjack by
wind
yelling.
throw. He throws wind. It's like, ah, I wave my hand.
He's like
at
Old
you.
Man Winter.
You're making me dislike him.
Old Man Winter.
He just poops out molds.
Yeah. He has a mini feet spawn mold.
Do you remember the video game?
He almost spit tanked all over the mix board.
You remember the old video game Killer? No, not Killer. But what's fucking Primal Instinct or some shit like that?
Okay.
They had all the big dinosaurs fighting each other.
Oh my god. No, I don't remember this.
I'm looking this up now.
Okay. Suspense is done for a while.
There was a monkey, and his name was Blizzard, and like a big blue frozen monkey. I'm saying it was one of the guys.
This sounds
Shut up.
terrible. Why did you play this?
Because it was an amazing fighting game.
Okay, so moving on.
I'm looking this up.
So yeah, and then he has Snowfall, which we believe gives concealment to things around him. Which would be cool with Highwaymen now, because they have camouflage. Unfortunately, it still will not trigger Prowl, because it's not a spell effect. So dumb.
Primal Rage, that was it.
Okay. Is that like Rampage?
Okay. Showing the picture of this blue monkey uppercutting the dinosaur, okay?
Oh my god. I think I'd actually seen this.
You see what I mean?
Oh my
That's
god.
exactly what I thought.
I've definitely played that game.
Yes. And he
I definitely blocked that out and never played it again.
He's like a monkey that freezes things that fights T-Rexes, okay? I'm just saying.
Just stop.
How is that different than what
Stop.
you... Okay. It's the same thing.
Okay, moving on, because that's clearly going to be the most OP. Let's do the next important one.
Zapdos.
No.
Yes.
All right, Zapdos.
Yes.
The Storm
Raptor,
which is the electrical bird of prey,
Yes.
or Zapdos.
The Thunder Chicken.
Yeah. They have the Quicken Chicken, the Thunder Chicken, and Zapdos.
I love him so much. I hate this faction, and I want to play this faction so I can use Zapdos.
This is potentially the only Gargantuan that can be taken on a Lesser Warlock. No, Mammoth, sorry. I forgot about the dude that has no restrictions.
How can it be taken with a Lesser Warlock?
Because Una supposedly...
He might be a Falcon.
If he's considered to be a Falcon or a Griffin or whatever she can take.
From the art here, he doesn't look anything like a Griffin.
I don't disagree.
He looks like a Falcon.
Yeah, he looks like
it has wings, so people are expecting it.
Okay, that's circle players.
That's true. This is clearly why they nerf stones, because this guy's so broken. That's the...
Zapdos, we're gonna kill you with...
They're still in denial.
Because all of the double teleports from...
That's true.
Speed 7 and Flight.
Yeah.
Speed 7 and Flight. I'm telling you, if you put Speed 7 and Flight on any Gargantuan, it immediately becomes the best Gargantuan.
I have a question for you. Will it follow the track record as being terrible because it's a flying Gargantuan?
No, I think it'll be terrible.
He's nodding.
I think it's going to be terrible because it's going to be a cool-looking model.
And that's true.
And circle people buy everything.
Back to the original argument of there's no electricity in this faction we were talking about in the pre-ramble. The electrical abilities in Circle are pretty much limited to Kruger and the Battle Engine, is that right?
The Battle Engine has
That's what
one
it seems
shot.
like.
The Battle Engine has its leap attack, Electro Leap thing, and then...
Okay, so Kruger got a Storm Raptor. Yay!
Yeah,
Who else are you playing with?
Nobody
You
else.
play with a lot of things. I mean, bounding might be cool on it. I mean, that makes it speed 9 charging. Lots of different things you can do.
They specifically dictate 2 abilities that affect lightning. Superconductor and Skyfire.
Right. Can we be honest here? Because its wings are going to be like POW 8. Like, come
That's
on.
the interesting thing. They did say superconductor, didn't they?
Hmm?
That's what is that the rule that's on the Storm Pod?
No. That's Channeler, I think. Let's check. But they said specifically when they said it's going to be able to boost electrical damage and attack rolls, I think.
Superconduction and
Just like
Skyfire.
the
Which,
Stormwall?
also, side note,
Like what?
Stormwall can boost the pod's damage.
Conductor, not superconductor.
Okay.
You were close.
Now, they made it sound like it can kill a lot of things, but not if you're immune to electricity.
I would
So I wonder if all of its attacks are electrical?
even its melee attack?
Outside of its melee,
It is
probably.
Zapdos, so I mean, it could be. It's made of electricity. And apparently black and yellow construction paper, but other than that...
I'm thoroughly
It's got
confused.
a little bits of armor.
It has the
I
claw
don't know.
thing.
I think it'll be cool. It'll probably have attacks melee wise similar to
I think
the other flyer.
it will...
So it'll have 1 high POW and 2 lower POW.
Mhm. I would expect this to see about as much play as the World Wrath, not because it's bad, just because it's fairly limiting on which caster you're playing based on who can turn it on.
I mean, we don't know
But
that.
you can cast spells on it.
That's true.
We don't know that it.
Did you have another
Like
point?
it's
No.
the fact how it boosts electrical damage, if it's that important or not.
Right, and
It might just be a secondary effect that it does.
like the storm walls, like you don't need storm collars for storm wall to be amazing, but
I'm curious
because
why,
honestly, I think that I don't know. I don't know.
What
I
if
think
it's
the
cheap?
freaking Archangel's awful too. But I was gonna say, I think Circle.
I do not think they're going to break their 18 to 20 point framework.
You don't think
I
so?
really don't think that's going to happen.
No,
Because it
I
allows...
think everything we're considering this thing having, you're not going to play it because it's not worth 18 to 20 points.
Because
But I
then
mean,
you're
if it
going to
was-
see,
you
like,
don't know
Helios in a fucking 15-point game and shit like
this
that.
thing might
And
have
that's
a
not what they
20
want.
bite.
Not Helios, I'm talking about this piece of shit.
Well, anybody. You're going to see a Gargantuans in, like, 15-point games and just
Just
nobody's
saying, like,
gonna
when
like
it hits the table and Nemo's all like, okay, I'm just going to club it to death.
We're also talking
I
about a
wanna see
faction that. I mean, I could see
Yeah.
this thing being defense 12 too,
Yeah.
and being able
That's
to force
possible.
Eva to be like a freaking 14-18 or something like that.
Whoa, 18? Are you crazy? It's going to be 16.
No.
12 boxes. I
Are we
just...
talking about a solo here?
Yeah, I just hope that because of the stupid ramp up of power level they had over like the last 3 years, that it's just like a fucking roller coaster of doom, and they just go straight into the garbage for a while.
It's going to have assault, but the assault, its weapon's going to be like a phase. Like, it's going to be the entire width of its base outward in one direction. Just going to set like another base out there. It's going to go.
How does
everything
this
away.
model not have wind blast?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually,
like,
it
wind
might have-
throw.
Yeah.
Like,
Wind
you throw wind? This fucking thing doesn't have throw wind?
No, it
Fuck
has,
you.
It has flap with feathers.
It's like,
Zapdos.
it's just.
All right.
What if it has a spot where you can actually just set Kruger on top of it?
No.
No.
Nemo.
All right. So, in all seriousness, I think we're ready to move on to the actual most important Gargantuan, the Blightbringer.
I hate you so much.
I think
I
this
had
is going to be
Spence
cool.
all set
I
up.
feel like this one's going to be a lot like Helios, the Helios of.
I literally forget this thing every time We bring you up.
You're like, all right, so we're on to the... Oh, that one.
Oh, that's right. It has a spiritual corruption.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and Dragon
buffing
Fire.
or debuffing shit around it.
It's going to have a lot of aura type effects.
Yeah.
They're going to go on around it.
Yeah, Legion.
I think it'll still have an actual damaging gun, but it's gonna be a buffer or debuffer, one of the two.
It's going to do some weird shit. I don't know. Like, it's probably going to have, like, consume. That way both their gargantuans have consume. It's got a huge mouth. I want to call this one, like, Resident Evil. Like,
I'm calling right now. Like, I honestly... does Legion need that? Do they need a bunch
They won't
of extra...
play it
what does
anyways.
Legion need?
That's what I'm saying. So it's like...
Actually, though,
Would
maybe
you
this
take
one
this?
will really facilitate their infantry and actually get people
It could,
playing.
yeah. I mean,
If that happened, I'd be all fucking for it.
Maybe-
Hey, in the picture, in the art, that says Blight Wasps on it. Maybe this, somehow combined with Blight Wasps, become broken as fuck.
I was thinking Turbogon as soon as I saw it. GW product, sorry, but, you know.
that's fine.
They are whoring all over that. That's what this thing is.
Yeah.
Like,
What about if this thing had, like, a callus feat effect, where it's like warrior models within 5 inches of it just turn into incubi when they die? And, like, it's just shit in melee, and, like, that's all it does is it makes your infantry crazy cool. Something like
I can't
that.
imagine.
It
any
won't
model
be.
doing
It
that
can't
and
be
not taking
shit
it.
in melee.
Well, maybe
It
not shit in
has to
melee,
be your
but yeah, it
beater.
has like one spray as its gun. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe no range presence, but it has to be the
Yeah.
beater at the end of the chain.
So yeah, its early game effect is like I make my infantry do all these cool things like turn incubi or like get plus armor. Or
It
something.
does provide concealment, they say.
Yeah.
Now, if it provides concealment, the really cool thing about that is, now this goes back to what you said about Callus, unyielding and concealment on all of your troops that are, it's escorting them down there. And what are they gonna do? Slam a heavy into it? Okay, your troops eat it alive. Slam a heavy into some troops. It's gonna, a Colossal that can't take a heavy is not a Colossal. So.
It's going to provide concealment, though, that nerfs Stag Rush won't.
That's true. And by true, I mean false in every way.
Now, it specifically just saves him.
Can you stack the
You
ball?
can give them concealment twice.
Yeah.
Also, Withering Ash, I wonder if that's going to be like Ashen Veil, as opposed to just like, so if you're a living model within range, it's going to give you -2.
I was actually
I'm
picturing
guessing
kind of like
more
the Crix battle engine thing where he places AoEs by spending like soul tokens. And
Maybe.
then they're
AoEs
like
that
ash
actually
clouds.
do something?
Well, it could be like the what's his face
Reclaimer?
ash clouds. Yeah, where they, like you get -2 like to hit while
They're
you're
Ashen
inside
Veil
it.
clouds.
Yeah,
I
Ashen
was
Veil
thinking
clouds.
maybe they're clouds that, provide the withering feat in the 3-inch circle.
No.
Oh.
Circle.
No.
Can we point out the one
Christmas.
we haven't said something? Spiritual corruption, to flat out disallow or interrupt spell casting around it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
That could be as simple as like an arcane.
Yeah, but
vortex
how
type
often
of
do you
thing.
see orange?
Spell ward on
Yeah.
everything in its command, friendly and enemy.
I could see
That
it.
could actually be really cool and
can see
annoying as crap. Like, sweet, I charge you. I can't cast my Animus now. like,
I could
That's
see
not a
this.
spell.
I could see this
if the War
being
Beast
what
is
they
casting
want.
its own Animus, it's just an Animus, and it can still be cast.
Well, Legion players all own like 10 of each one of their war beasts now. Maybe they want Legion players to buy the infantry.
like tariffs.
Yes, all the tariffs.
Really?
Yes, the taxes
And nerfs.
upon trade tariffs.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
I
took it
think
there.
that's
Grammar, bitch!
That's what I actually really hope it's going to do is try to pull them into some of their infantry.
Now, is this meant to be played with Typhon a lot? Because he was in that video quite a bit.
He was in the video quite a bit.
Typhon wasn't in the video with this guy.
He was not in the video with this guy, but he was
No.
in the video quite a bit.
He was. Typhon made a cameo. He got all jealous and shit. He's all like, "Yo, dog, don't forget
Next
about me."
Is minions.
Blight Wasp.
The
They're not getting anything.
Dracocodile.
They're not getting shit.
What? It's the Dracocodile.
And moving on.
The
Alright.
minor factions are getting...
Yeah, let's move
Battle
on to the
engines.
minor factions now.
I'm actually surprised I didn't get it. I still am.
Wait, who? Minions?
Yeah.
I'm
I actually...
surprised I didn't
Okay,
get one.
I'm sorry. Y'all both
I
need to
don't
go ahead and step
care.
the fuck back and realize they already got their Colossal. However, he's on a small base. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's
Maximus.
He's on a
That's
medium.
true.
No, he's a small base.
I am glad they finally got a
No.
good target for Defender's Ward, though.
Yes, Maximus.
That's shut up. You just got it.
I did. I was all like,
He has spell
no.
Oh, yeah, he is pretty... Oh. Okay,
Alright.
so for real, the
Desert Hydra. Yes. Hail Hydra.
I don't know how this isn't going to be the best one. This thing looks so amazing.
Read Rat 3?
It doesn't matter if it's Rat 3. You have Black Spot. That would be fucking stupid with Black
That's
Spot.
one caster.
Okay.
It's
I'm
10
fine with that.
attacks. It's 10 attacks. It's 12 attacks.
It's, I think, more than that, actually.
It's 12.
if you charged in for free with Beast Handlers and made 10 melee attacks triggering 5 sprays, that's 15 attacks.
What do you mean triggering?
You black spot. You kill a guy with a melee attack, you get to make a ranged attack.
All right. 3 fury per head.
15 fury? I don't think that's okay.
No, black spot.
Not with Beast Handlers.
Wait a second, why
But
not?
I think black spot has to trigger if it's a melee. I think it has to trigger a melee.
No, that's fine. 10 sprays and then 5 melee attacks.
Brandon.
And then 5 more melee attacks. 20 attacks. We're even better now.
How are you adding this up?
Because you go in, you make your 5 initial ranged attacks, assuming they all kill one, because you're effectively Rat 5 at that point.
Got it.
That will each individually trigger 5 more spray attacks that can target anything.
Why do they each trigger 5?
Okay, I spray once, that triggers black spot. I take a free range attack, knowing ready to fire at something else.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now I make my second initial ranged attack.
it's 10.
That kills a model. Now I make... Right, but that's without spending Fury, you make 10 ranged attacks. Then it has multiple heads, so you can then buy more melee attacks.
I see what he means.
Each triggering another melee attack.
There's not that many things in any area on the table.
It might be, though, like...
There really aren't. There is no army in the game that has that many models.
Real Warriors will still be
You
there.
never
with all that-
kill them. They'll tough every single fucking time.
I think
This
you're
is gonna be a
sour.
really
And you'll miss them
sad
because they're
spray
defense
10 or
27.
something, or like a POW 10, spray 10.
If it's
Like a
got...
venom. Like a spray 10 venom.
If it's spray 10s and it's Rat 5, I expect it to be spray like POW 10 sprays. If it's spray 8 and it's Rat 5, I would expect spray 12s. If it's Rat 3, it better be like POW 14s.
I've heard a lot of play about 1 spray 10 or 4 or 5 spray 6s.
I hope those people are dead.
Me too. Hey, listen, if you are out there saying this shit
And you have no
making somebody say that it's okay, I'm killing you, I'm killing them, killing everybody. Just death. Do not ruin my fucking Hydra.
Yeah.
I'm editing this part out for legal sake.
The direct threats on other people.
This is not
Those are
direct.
not
This is very
direct.
indirect. Yeah, this
Okay.
is just a broad spectrum.
But what if they they post on our forums and say, yeah,
That
it was
literally
me?
could have been a threat against
That's okay.
my life.
They are the ones saying that.
Right, but then you'll respond to, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then it's like,
I
alright,
wouldn't respond to them.
that's true. You would just like track their IP.
I would just assume they would die.
on the forums. Do we have forums?
Yes.
I'm on them.
Don't post there.
I'm Lord Fool on those forums.
You're a fool. That's okay.
Hey, to be fair, I'm not Lord Fool on our forums.
That's okay.
My favorite thing. Okay, so this thing realistically,
20 attacks.
360.
It's got a lot of attacks.
Definitely have 360 on
So-
sight, which is a negative on a Colossal, by the way.
It's just weird.
Because they can
I
walk
don't know.
around.
Actually,
I'm-
that might actually trigger an errata. If he actually has 360 on sight, they'll probably errata it.
What?
Because the way it works right now, like if you have your huge base, you've got your 2 90-degree arcs that are 180-degree field of vision. If you have 360, you can see the models out of those arcs, but
can't
you
fire
cannot attack them because legally you can only make attacks against
And they're
models
still
in
in
those
your-
arcs.
What if this one?
Yeah.
What if this one specifically doesn't have different arcs though? What if they
Maybe
just
not.
specify that on this model?
But every Colossal, like it will have
thus
It'll
far,
have
every
a-
has.
it won't have left or right. It will have front arc.
180 degrees.
It'll have 180, but you still won't be able to attack behind you.
Why?
Because unless they have their own rule for him,
Got it. Okay.
having 360 line of sight on a Gargantuan or a Colossal does not let you attack the rear 180 degrees.
That's
The
interesting.
model has to be at least partially within the front 180 degrees, which
It
means
happens with...
you can walk out of their line of sight, or out of their field of attack, and still be in their line of sight, not trigger a free strike, and then you walk out of their melee, which triggers a free strike, but they're not allowed to attack you because you're not in their 180 degree arc.
Yeah, it
That's
happens in
hilarious,
retro.
actually.
It is, because when you give, like, what is it, Bird's Eye that gives 360? Yeah, so
Antivirus.
Virus's Hyperions can't attack you if you charge in
I
a
just
weird
can't
way.
imagine anything not having
Past
360 vision.
No,
I
it's
just-
definitely going to. One of the heads is looking behind it. It's definitely going to have 360 vision.
like- Well, okay, and actually, let's
Okay. In the video, they have the first template on the center line, and it all spreads out to its left.
Okay.
What do you?
So I'm just saying that. So it looks
It can
like
you heard it here first. It
You
can
think it
only
can
spray in its
find
right field of fire.
left.
Left field
Are
of
we
fire.
just claiming first tonight? That's what we're doing. It's like,
Well, yeah.
by the way, this video has not hit the internet yet.
Yeah, that's true.
You're going to be hearing this after you've seen the video, but we saw it before you did. You
Yeah.
heard it first.
We saw this in January. Like,
Right.
come on. We get shit.
2014.
Which is probably actually when they were drawing these models.
It's very pretty pictures. Which, by the way, out of all the models they showed, only one of them actually has a model that's all painted and looks good, and it's the fucking Hydra, and it looks amazing.
This is what's exciting to me, because the Crix one is done, and the Hydra's done.
Mm-hmm.
Factions I have.
Max, you're a genius.
You're playing this out well.
Shit right. That's. I feel like you knew what was happening.
I knew I was getting screwed when the Mammoth was last, but now I shall be first.
I am going to say the people who thought the Archangel was hard to put together, I expect the Hydra to be way worse.
You think so?
Yes. Okay, you saw the detail on that thing?
Yeah.
Mold lines.
Will be hidden on the inside.
Bullshit! Have you ever seen one of their models? I don't know who cuts the models to put them to get them ready for the molding. That guy has clearly been brick choked a few too many times.
He took it back to brick choke. We're brick choking somebody in Dev's Iron Kingdoms game.
Yeah, it was definitely. Well, I did that with a pillar, but
I'm going to actually have a holster made for a brick, and I'm going to unholster my brick.
But instead of hitting him with the brick, I hit the brick with him.
It's like
slowly.
You're just going to hold the brick and keep slamming him into it. That's terrible.
It's like, I think that's easier one way. It's like, nope.
Okay, so can we just go ahead and all admit right now that we're looking forward to the Hydra more than anything?
If the Hydra is Mat 6, Rat 3, has POW 12 sprays that are spray 10, and it's multiple,
amazing,
and everything that we think.
Amazing.
Fury 5, Speed 5.
I'll take it.
Everybody's good with that?
Threshold 8.
It doesn't matter what the fucking threshold is. They have beast handlers.
Honestly, though, I'm going to bet on Rat 4.
What if the beast handlers
I'll be disappointed unless it's at least Rat 4.
Even if it's POW 12 sprays?
Yeah.
So if it's Rat 4, POW 10 sprays, how do you feel? They're spray 10.
That's fine.
It
needs to be a beater in melee at that point.
Well, but you have beast handlers, so I mean, it's going to do work.
You
but
could always get +2 in the faction, but I'm just saying, I can't have
it's not going
to be just as good as it in melee.
Right, it's going to be, I would assume it's going to be at least power 17, despite having 5 initials.
That's all I'm saying, is that if it's going to be a POW 10 shooting, that's fine, because it's going to kill most of the infantry, not all of it. But
like with Xerxes, this thing is going to be so freaking ridiculous. Like Xerxes 2, mobility, signs importance, ignite.
How fast it'll be either, so.
Well, it's
probably
5. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, it might be speed 4.
It's speed 5.
It could be 5, but that's pretty fast.
They have rush and mobility in the faction.
5 now.
They
gave us
7.
So many.
It's not an artist right off the bat. It's not an artist, which I mean that's been their key.
Right, it's not going to be speed 3.
Okay, it's not a Titan.
Oh my god, if it was speed 3, it might be Rat 5 then. Rat 5 POW 14.
You want to see a model? You want to see a model really probably not get played
because it can't gain advanced deployment because it's a colossal. God, that would be so demoralizing if it was speed 3.
It would. You know, every Scorn player would still own one though.
That's true.
They look.
They don't own it and open the box.
They should all own a Mammoth.
It would be the new Archangel.
Yeah. No, because not everyone owns the Archangel because they're a bunch of like crybabies.
You mean Legion
They
players?
don't admit it, Brandon.
Yeah, those people.
That's what you said. Oh, sorry.
They have it. They open the box. They put the box away.
There's one still in a box right behind you.
I noticed he didn't take it when he moved out.
Yeah, he left that here.
So we're really excited about the Hydra, which I think everybody is. I think they knew that. That's why they saved it for the last. That's why they had the pictures. That's why, I mean, really, it's just something they've had before. The 5 sprays, or the 5 initial attacks. Like, they relate it to Typhon just because it's that sort of thing. So that's also another reason why I can't.
It's Typhon on, like, super crack.
I don't want to believe that they're going to make one of the sprays powerful and then all the other ones shitty. Or, like, just because that's not what Typhon does. And they specifically relate it to Typhon.
Let's be honest, though, even if they were spray 6s, I feel like when it's going to actually engage... Actually, let's think of it this way. It has the shortest range guns of anything on a huge base. It's tied with the Mountain King for shortest gun because it's spray 10.
Yeah.
It has 5 sprays. It has no other way to affect the game at distance, and it doesn't appear to have any synergies beyond itself. So, I think it's okay if it just murders everything it gets to.
I think it's okay, though. I mean, the thing is, if it's 6, why would you not just melee things? Oh, because you have to hit that one chode over there? Really?
Well, but it ignores the in-melee bonus, ignores cover, concealment, stealth. But it doesn't have 4-inch reach. Like, maybe they've jammed you well, and they've got, like, a line of boom howlers, and they've got all these fucking, like, Weapon Master Doom Reavers behind it, and you just walk up and you're like, I'll do ranged attacks, and you just fucking kill all the guys behind their wall of dudes you can't kill.
I think I'm settling in on the fact that it's going to be spray 10s. I don't know about the rat, but they're going to be POW 10.
I feel like it would have been very misleading
I just think
for them to put spray 10s on the table.
The amount of speed
the template is just now
him,
what it is.
Even if he's speed 4, the amount of speed you can just give him get him up to an 8, then he's walking 18, and he just targets something in front of your caster and ignores all the defensive buffs it has and just sprays it, it can't be a powerful spray.
Or it can't be accurate.
I think it can be semi-accurate. I still don't think it's going to be higher than Rat 4, but that's what I'm hoping for. Well,
yeah, it can't be POW 14.
But it can't be a POW 14.
You've got paralyzed guns. Yeah. You could drop their defense to nothing.
Just to freaking...
Well, even beyond that, the fact that you can just drop that many of them, he is right. Here's 5 sprays.
5 boosted to hit POW 14s kills a lot of casters.
Right.
I think he's absolutely right there. I think that Power 10s are going to be fine. Now, the thing is, it wouldn't matter if it's only Power 10s. People are like, it's so pillow-fisted for a Colossal, but it's like, we're Scorn.
Yeah.
They might,
nothing's pillow-fisted in Scorn, really.
They might fix, like, okay, so we have Power 10s or whatever have you, but these are all corrosive or something like that to help with higher armor, single wound infantry.
They have mentioned corrosion.
I don't know that happens. That makes sense to me with the Hydra.
It said specifically acid sprays.
Okay, well then, so that might be something else it has in its bag to help remove models.
Is there anything worm-like in the game that has a spray that sprays acid? Is that something that exists in the game already?
I'm pretty sure now that I actually see the model and I think about it, I'm very sure it's off the Eridus concept because it's got the same kind of mouths. And
that's what I thought originally, but then I didn't watch the video when I thought that originally. So I was originally thinking maybe this is a Mat 5 Rat 5 or something like that.
Are they? Well, the soldier's 6,
only the shooter is 5/5.
Okay.
If they gave it 5,
actually, no, that's not even true. The shooter is 6/5. So
would Scorn care?
What
would Scorn care if it was Mat 5?
Yeah, they would.
Yes, they would. And we've already gotten confirmation from whatever's face that there's not going to be another Mat 5. So it's either Mat 4 or Mat 6.
It's Mat 6. It'll be 6.
It's going to be Mat 6. But they're not going to do that again.
It's either going to be 6/4 or 6/5. We'll see.
Despite it being good, bad, or indifferent, they're not going to do that again because the public outcry will be too big.
Yeah.
They'll take the chance that it's overpowered and make it Mat 6. I really feel that.
Mat 6 won't be overpowered ever.
There's too many, like Defense 13 is just too dicey.
Mat 6, Power 10, Spray 10. I don't think that would be too much to put on that thing. Even now, PS, give it PS 17s.
He's going to be. I think there's a good chance he'll be Fury 4.
I could see that.
I
honestly.
can't imagine he's not going to be Fury 5.
I could see either way. I mean, because of the 5 heads, I'd honestly like to see Fury.
It makes sense.
And you would, but
what
if might be too powerful.
Mammoth and his 4 guns being, rate of fire 3. I know it's like the numbers don't necessarily have to add up that way, but
if he actually has multiple heads, doesn't multiple heads have the same rule where it's like he loses one of the shot? The thing Typhon has is where he loses one of his initials for every system he has out. Is that multiple heads, or is that a different rule that Typhon has?
No idea.
I don't know that rule at all.
Look
up Typhon.
Someone check that. Because I remember he loses, and maybe I'm just crazy, and this is what my opponent was saying, and it's not actually true, but he was saying that Typhon actually loses one of his initials for each system that is crippled.
That sounds weird.
And he only has multiple heads here. Let's read multiple heads. Small can make 3 initial attacks each combat action. So it's clearly going to be a different wording of multiple heads, because it says it can make 3 initials, using any combination of Blight Breath or Bite attacks. This model loses 1 initial attack for each aspect it has lost.
That's interesting.
And, they did put Spray 10s down. But they could very easily be Spray 8s.
Right.
In the video, because
the argument
their Spray 10s are all 3 of their spray measurement sizes. So they
But at one point they did make Spray 8s, not saying they have a bunch laying around. But
they can borrow mine.
It seems potentially misleading that you would put the template down when you say a spray. And it's like, well, why'd you put it down if it's not a 10? I don't know. It's possible, but I just feel like they wouldn't have done that.
I feel like if it's going to have Spray 6s or Spray 8s, it's going to be much more durable and better in melee. And I feel like it doesn't need to be better in melee.
I don't think it can be higher than POW 17 base. I don't think, because
it's fine if it is. I think that's solid.
17 is fair.
If it's 17, that's 17 across the board, and then Beast Handlers just make 19.
Yeah, it's 5 POW 19 initials. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Now, that's more than enough for what it's actually. Because the thing is it a ridiculous heavy hitting cracking armor thing? 19's solid enough
not
for
unless
that,
you
but
want
it's
to
not
devote
the
it to that.
But that many sprays and that on the same model.
19 will crush a lot of things.
I think. Now I'm curious. How many health do you think it's going to have? Is it going to have plenty or?
I don't know. See, because they're all different sculpts.
It's not the same chassis at all. We can't really infer
if we're talking if they're even just going to say. Because I feel like the Mountain King is the same chassis, but he's just a different pose.
Did they actually say what his animus was? Did they hint at it?
I don't think so.
I don't think
they only talk
What
about
if he is hyper regen like Typhon?
Oh my god.
He could have like the Mountain King size hit points because hyper regen's way better than wealth shedding.
And that would make sense for a Hydra thematically.
Kind of. I mean,
it would, and that's why I thought I was like, these should have hyper regen.
The thing is, though, is that I feel like hyper regen gets broken when you put an armor buff on something.
It can. So that why, but if that's what I'm saying.
There's like 3 or 4.
If he has hyper regen,
5 armor buffs in that faction.
If he has hyper regen, there's no way he's higher than armor 18. Like that would, because Defender's Ward plus hyper regen goes nuts.
While we're talking about the Animus, can I point something out there?
And Xerxes.
If you are out there commenting on this thing whatsoever, if you're talking about this
and
fucking
you're just making shit up,
no, and you're talking about Zuriel's fucking Animus on this thing, it's never gonna happen. Shut up and die. It's literally never gonna happen. What if the Butcher could dual-wield Lola? He can't. He only has one of them. Okay.
Cost one.
Zuriel's in another faction. You can't put that on this model.
He's literally going to be the rat of the Razor Worm if that's the case.
Let's be realistic. It's gonna have a muck so that it can Thresher. Okay. And sacrifice 5 initials to make one Thresher.
Thresher.
It won't.
Well, that's true. It would be 180. Except it hit all your
Thresher. 360 Thresher.
That might be bad, actually.
That would actually be really
Or
bad.
Scorn.
I hope he has
That's
4
true.
inch reach at
Or
that point.
Scorn.
He could have chain activation.
He
Weirder
won't.
things have happened.
He won't.
That's true. They had him within 2 of the Kraken, and who would charge all the way in?
I don't
Kraken?
think.
Because it's hard enough to get those 2 models next to each other.
Yeah, I don't think they'll give it 4
I don't
inches.
think
Not
so.
with somebody that has so much speed.
It doesn't look like it's hanging
Yeah.
off the base too badly.
It doesn't. Which is really surprising. It's like the Hydra. Like, there's no way. Like, it's gonna be 1 foot of the base pointing straight up in the air.
It looks magnificent.
I wish they would have
It looks
called
so
it the
good.
Hydra and it had 1 head.
It's just a big razor worm. Literally,
Wait.
it's just a 3-up
Didn't
of a razor
somebody
worm.
do that? Some faction came out with something called the Hydra and gave it 1 head.
Yeah,
Who was that?
the not
Retribution.
factions.
the sub-faction.
Wait. You said the faction did it.
I apologize. That's why I was confused. I thought it was a real
I
faction.
apologize.
The sub-faction. The
All
Hydra.
right. And
They-
pulling up the rear, shifting stones can no longer teleport things.
That's not
more
the
than
rear.
once.
That's not the rear. We're still talking about the mammoth. I mean the Hydra.
You can talk about the Mammoth all you
Hail
want.
Hydra.
Okay, so stat line: Speed 5,
Yes. It could be
Mat
4.
6, Rat 4, 5.
I think it's going to
I
be
don't
a
think
5.
If it's not POW 12s, it won't be Rat 3.
It's going to be Power 10s. It's going to be Rat 5.
POW 10's auto corrosion spray 10.
Yes. Yes.
Crit corrosion.
That's weird.
Crit corrosion then.
Crit corrosion.
Might be
Rat
crit
5,
corrosion
crit
because
corrosion,
you're going to
POW
be
10.
throwing out so many sprays. You can't just say, okay, if these are all spray 10s, I'm going to slosh this part of the board, and it's all corroded.
You can, though.
You can.
Let's be honest.
But if it's auto corrosion, I think we're talking Rat 3.
What if it's just corrosion damage type POW 12?
That's possible.
That'd be solid.
Rat 5?
I don't know if 12s again just get to the point
I'm
where
gonna
they're dangerous. I think it's.
But if it has no
10s.
other effect, and some things can be immune to it, because it's got damage type now,
corrosion is
it's rare,
super
but
rare.
there's things.
I'm going to say it's the 10-12 mark. The 10-12 mark is going to drive
We'll be
it.
seeing more assault commandos.
Potentially. I don't think they're that bad, I just hate the models.
Then I'm just going to bite them all to death because they can't hit damage my fucking...
More Gormans.
More Gormans, yeah. Gorman's now FAU.
Gorman, Black... wait. Wait a second. Wait, no. This thing has 5 heads. How can Gorman Blackwell this fucking
He's
thing?
that good. He's got
Gorman.
trick shot,
He has...
magic grenade.
He has... I brought 5.
He's got
Blackwell.
ricochet.
Now, to be fair, he is the rogue alchemist.
That's
Can
true.
We haven't seen any alchemists.
Can you black oil Gorm or not? Never. I'm retarded.
Yes.
I was gonna say, can you magic bullet him and get a shot off of the black oil?
Yes.
I don't know if magic.
It's
bullet's
not a
action,
black
though.
oil shot, but yes.
I know it's not. I know it's just
Actually,
a
I
Villager
think it
caster with a
says
magic
normal
bullet.
range attack, or his attack star actions.
Yes.
I know the smoke bomb is.
I don't know. Honestly.
Yes.
Okay. So moving on. Wait. Spray 10s, Rat 5, POW 12 corrosion, I think.
I think if it's Rat 5, it's going to be Power 10. If it's Rat 4, it's going to be Power 12.
If his Animus is hyper regen, I think we could see Defense 8, Armor 18.
Hyper regen is self, correct?
Yes.
It's not going to be Armor 18.
So then you can put it on your casters. Does that really
Tubby.
break anybody?
Tubby,
Does that break
Tubby.
anybody? That's not that.
Pervious
good, Tubby.
Flesh, OP.
That's definitely
It's
not
not
going to
That's
that
not
good,
okay.
Tubby.
It's not okay. It's not going to be. It's not going to be Armor 18. This thing has a carapace.
Ooh, Naresh.
Stop it.
Hyper regen on Naresh would actually be good.
It could be 18, but
I like the look on Spence's face like, yes, it
It'll
would.
probably be 19.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be because
If he's not hyper regen, he's
And
definitely
it'll
Armor
be
19.
defense 8 to 9.
He actually looks more. His
Or
skin looks
actually-
more durable than Titan flesh, and Titans are wearing armor.
Look at the Archangel.
I don't want to look at the Archangel.
You do want to look at it.
I don't.
Not a simple one like
It doesn't
that.
have
That's
eyes.
painful.
It doesn't have eyes.
That's true. It almost has a rule for
I
that.
want to look at it. It wants to look at me. Okay.
It wants to sense your presence.
I just really no. It's not going to be an 18.
Now, unless it has hyperregen, it will not be an 18.
If it has hyperregen, it's still not going to be 18.
Maybe it's just really squishy. It looks like hard shell. It's just slimy.
If it
It has armor and it has hard shell.
Yeah,
if
but
it
it's
has
really soft shells.
hyperregen and armor 19 with an armor buff, it'd literally be unkillable unless
36 boxes.
you had purification.
And that's the problem, is it just gives them more of the same old problem.
If only
you
there
have
was a
purification,
faction.
I am screwed.
If only there was a faction that had something that you could put an armor buff on that made it ridiculously difficult to kill if you didn't have purification.
Every faction with an armor buff?
Got it.
Okay.
Like, because that thing that the wall in front of the storm, armor buff, stupid hard to kill.
I can't believe they let that thing have arcane shield. And cover fires. Not one, but both.
If I was a panda, I'd be a sad one.
I bet.
All right, there are other spoilers, however.
Yes. The Dracocodile.
Some sort of gator thing that has candles on it, which could potentially be Maylock.
Oh, yeah. There was a bunch of pictures at the end.
He has little gemstones for eyes, which I don't know if that's supposed to be like...
No one cares about this.
It's very
What
important.
about all the Gobos?
Calandra 2 is going to be in the book.
Is that what we know that's going to be?
It looked like Calandra. It looked a lot like
That
Calandra.
doesn't make any sense for you predicting Madrak 3 then.
They have 2 casters.
It
Crick's
won't
got 2
happen.
casters.
It won't happen. Crix didn't get 2 casters.
Well, no, he's just going to be in the next Hordes book. After
Who?
this one. Oh, I said I thought Madrak 3 was going to be in the 10th anniversary Hordes box.
Oh, yeah.
He might be, because there was a picture of a Chromac clearly holding, or what looks to be Epic Chromac holding Wrathrock. And then Ryan's like, that's sad because I wanted Madrak 3 eventually. I was like, well, he could be in the book, and this could just be the book he dies in.
Does he have to die?
Apparently when Tartarus lost the axe, he died because he lost it, is what I heard. But I don't know if that's actually factual at all. Apparently the axe doesn't like you leaving it alone. Who cares?
He
Yeah,
got
more
better when he
Chromac.
died.
And this is clearly shows that when Borka's not protecting you, you could die.
You know, I mean, really, what if Borka just told him to give it away?
He's like, just give him the axe.
He's like, but I'll die. He's like, no, you won't. Like, that's Borka. He's like,
Borka's like, who dies? He's like, death isn't a thing.
on a 5 or 6, you won't.
Did you see
That was the conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
He's like, just have that guy die instead. Just, come here, come here. Sir, come here. Hand this guy. You're dead. All right.
Where's Harthal? That's terrible.
All right.
Another score. There's looking to be some goblins that are tearing things apart. We're putting things together.
Yeah, we're still waiting on those goblin salvagers.
And then there's a picture of some sort of Scorn. Looks to be a Scorn warlock. I think he looks like an Ancestral Guardian. Which
Zal Unleashed.
Zol 2, where he's in an ancestral body, it would be pretty
It doesn't
cool.
look like Zal.
Well, if he's in an ancestral body, it wouldn't. I'm saying
That's like his super suit. It's gonna be like
yeah, it's like
supersuit?
Zol has become an ancestral guardian.
Makeda, where is my super suit?
Why do you need it?
God damn it, Makeda, you should tell me what my super suit is. I'm telling you, I want to see this now. This is now the greatest thing. It's like, there's a Hydra attacking all the Praetorians. It's like, I can see this.
I know you can see it.
It's
the fear that other people may be able to see that as well.
I'm just glad Max caught the reference like immediately.
Well, obviously.
Motherfucker's genius over there. He's like, why do you need it?
Okay.
It's perfect.
So moving on to the errata. Stones got nerfed.
Good.
Woo.
Will it actually affect anything in the grand scheme of things? How many of you out there listening to this actually in a game have been killed by a double port assassination? I know you've all read about it.
If you have not been killed by a double port assassination at some point, I would actually be surprised, unless you hardly ever play Circle. The problem isn't that it was too powerful, it's that it gave them too much of an out in games that they should lose. It's like the Gatsby assassination thing. It's like when you can just take a 60% assassination sometimes.
The problem was, I think, that it gave this 17 to 20 inch threat range to every caster in the faction.
Yeah.
Anybody else that brings an extreme threat range brings it because their warcaster does something.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree, she has a longer threat range. But
you take Molokar with Xerxes one, how far does he go?
He stays behind my Citrani.
He stays behind the Strati, okay.
I don't want to lose Molokar.
He's Defender's Ward behind the Strati.
Yeah, he's like base to base with fucking Xerxes, like hiding up back there beside.
with Crayon and
Yeah. He's behind Xerxes too, just chilling.
It's like
I don't want to die.
that's a Fury battery.
Yeah.
It's an 11-point Fury
Okay.
battery.
So, back to the stones. I think that probably Kruger 2 got the biggest nerf because he had some of the craziest threat ranges and took advantage of it the best.
Do we think this is going to do us a big favor by convincing all the Circle players they can not play with 2 units of stones?
You will see it a lot more often, but that means it will go from 0.01% to 0.1%. So 10 times as often, but
Yes.
I do think it nerfed Bradigus, at least to the point where his assassination isn't completely unpreventable, but it's still hard to stop. But it's not like, literally, there's nothing you can do to keep me off of you. Like,
You can be armor 27.
yeah, and you might live.
You just buy a Hydra and just kill everything they have.
I don't think that's how that works.
Like, if you use a Hydra, like, Circle can't play against you.
That might be
That
true.
would be true.
It's just like you put it out there, and what's he going to fight it with? Literally nothing. There's nothing in the army.
I'm just scared it's going to be like PAL 14.
The Hydra? In Melee?
Yeah.
There's no way. It'd be at least a 16.
Max, I share your fear. I mean,
If it
on.
was PAL 15, I will be impressed. Like, wow, you guys got the fucking bummer out of this book.
Because then you're talking like Beast Handlers and Xerxes 2. No, it's
Yeah,
like a
Beast
19.
Handlers plus something to get a legitimate power. But at that point, it'd have to have something.
It had to be like 15 points.
Yeah. It'd have to have something it does. Maybe like crit armor pierce or something. Crit brutal, something. They have to have something to get through high armor. It'll just have decap
Consume
and
times
armor
5.
piercing.
Auto consume on attack times 5. Disacknowledge base size.
Or warlock.
Actually, you know what? It's going to be chain attack, but it's after all 5 initials.
Oh, what if it has crit pitch?
Why would it not have crit pitch?
It might
model
actually
like,
have
yeah.
crit pitch.
Chain attack.
Chain attack, all 5 initials.
If the model hits with all
boost,
5 initial
boost,
attacks.
boost.
The model attack
Now that I have
dies.
hit with all 5 and I cannot boost my chain
RFP,
attack,
the other
you
enemy
missed the
model.
chain attack. Like, God damn it!
Enemy model is now weapon locked.
Yeah.
It's like,
But you have to hit first. And
What if
Enemy
each of the heads
model
counts
is
as an
now
open
tangled in the heads.
what if each of the fists count as an open hand?
each of the fists?
Oh, I'm sorry, each of the heads count as an
It
open
could.
fist.
That's potentially possible.
You know, if you're playing God.
And then you know what gets to happen? You know what gets to happen?
You could do a 5-handed throw.
There you go. And they resist it. How? Because they only get to roll 1 die.
I really don't care if I alienate this person, but for whoever posted the question, if I put playing God on Carnivian, can I do a 3-handed throw? Seriously?
Read the fucking book.
Read words. Like, just start with words.
What Brandon's trying to stress is the fact that no point in the game has it ever dictated there is something called a 3-handed throw.
Look up 3-handed throw in the rulebook and tell me how stupid you are.
Well, I like the one-handed throw rule.
Yeah.
No, you mean throw.
Jeremy's implying that we did our video wrong because we used a proxy base.
And
Damn it, Jeremy.
You measured from the wrong point.
We didn't measure from the wrong point. We measured
Yes.
from the correct point.
No. It's measuring from a proxy base method.
I'm aware. But it's impossible to mark an infinitely small point on a video for people to watch.
I don't know. I've seen 2 other examples.
Okay. Did they use an infinitely small point?
Yes.
With what did they use to mark this infinitely small point that was equally infinitely small?
The scatter template.
Okay. So that didn't happen.
Uh-huh.
We failed.
Okay.
I still did it like an A-.
It was like an A minus.
Yeah, we failed with an A-.
It was a straight D.
That's what they call an Asian F.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else in the errata we need to talk about?
I'm kind of looking through it right now.
Spellcasting was clarified that if you declare the target of a spell and it turns out to be an illegal target, such as a unit out of formation, you do not spend the focus.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that way that people can you lost your 3 because you tried to cast that spell.
You're like, stop being a douche.
Come on. It was an illegal target. And you're like, yeah. I was like, so if I spend 2 to convection your Doom Reaver, do I spend 2? You're like, no. It's like, it's always been like that. You don't spend it. It's just clarified now.
Yeah, some people want to be douchebags.
There was something else, I think. Maybe this is an older one. Something like something can
There's
do
something about shooting, wasn't there?
shooting.
No, there wasn't. Never mind. Thinking of something else.
It was like a certain model is like allowed to do power attacks, I think it was. Oh yeah, the monstrosities can do power attacks.
Oh, because they weren't able to.
Well, right, because they're not warjacks. It says they're not warjacks.
Can you allocate them focus?
Yes. But they're not warjacks. They follow some rules of warjacks that are explained in their army book.
Oh.
But they were not classified, so you couldn't weapon lock them because they're not warjacks.
They were living, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're playing the IK RPG and you're a Man of War or a Bastion, you are on a medium base, despite what the book says. The book is
the book not saying anything.
The book says nothing about it whatsoever.
Yeah, it doesn't say that.
But if you are playing this game and you are making the distinction that you want to be on a small base, you're wrong. Just stop it. You're an idiot.
Yeah, you are an idiot. Do you want to plead your case for the great weapons?
The Relic Blade?
Yeah. If you play IK RPG, this means something to you.
So it's just Brandon and I. Okay,
I'll insert cricket noises here.
Okay. In the Kings, Nations, and Gods book, which is the first large supplemental guide to the Iron Kingdoms book, they introduced the Protector of Menoths as a faction that you can really play exemplars. You can play, the Allegiant of the Fist. And one of the weapons that they actually dictate in there is the Relic Blade, with all regular Knights Exemplar are wielding the Relic Blade. The Knight Exemplar Seneschal is wielding 2, because he's a badass. He has Chain Attack Smite, because he's a badass. In the game, if you get 2-weapon fighting, you can eventually purchase Chain Attack Smite, and its requisite is Hand Weapon, which is a skill in the game to utilize a martial weapon. Hand Weapon 3, so 3 ranks in is what you need. However, the Relic Blade is dictated to be a great weapon. There are rules in the book saying great weapon. You can only ever use one at any given time. There is not a point in the book where it says that you are ever allowed to use 2 great weapons.
And I'm going to stop here and I'm going to lead into the next part.
Go ahead.
Despite that obviously it's better than a regular sword, but it's still basically a one-handed weapon. I mean, to be fair, most models wield it with 2, but there is no reason you would ever take a Relic Blade if it's a great weapon, because the consecrated halberd that the Bastions use can be used one-handed and has reach, and is the exact same power of the Relic Blade. So, yes. If you would choose Relic Blade, you're basically saying, I want my weapon to not have reach.
Yes.
That's what you're choosing.
Or you can take the Flame Brand, which like Incinerator uses, which it's exactly the same as a Relic Blade, except whenever you kill a model, it flame bursts. Like, that's...
Yes.
So there's literally no reason for all 3 of these weapons to be great weapons, and the Relic Blade to be not be... I just don't understand.
The only reason it would be is if you just, for some reason, thought that all Menoth weapons should be great weapons, and then overlooked the fact that, why would you do this?
There have been some ideas in the forums thrown around as, like, for example, Divine Fortitude is an ability you could buy as an exemplar. It's what you have to purchase in order to wear Bastion plate.
Mm-hmm.
There's a suggestion that if you purchase Divine Fortitude, you can then wield Relic Blades as hand weapons.
As a house rule.
Yeah, I mean, all these are house rules that are thrown out there as ideas, because, I mean, the book is obviously just the book.
Right.
I'm going to uphold there are plenty of typos and plenty of
There
books.
are lots of typos in that book, I found out. Yeah. It's actually surprising.
A lot of copy and pasting going on for a lot of sections. That's okay. I mean, hell, it's a great book. The system is great. I feel like it's a very balanced game. It's just a matter of there are little things that you're going to have to suck it up and make a house rule because it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your players just charge jacks, because when, powerful solos charge jacks and weapon masters charge jacks, they die.
That happens.
That's the only thing I've seen that
You're just jealous.
I'm not jealous. I'm happy it happened.
You seem jealous.
I don't get to die when heavies hit the scene. I'm okay with it.
That's true. Okay. I think we're pretty much done for right now. You got anything else we want to cover?
There's one other thing I noticed in here.
What's that?
Monstrosities are counted as warjacks for power attacks.
We just covered that.
I wasn't listening to you.
That's fair. It's like Jeremy. Please don't read that. And he read it. Yes. So they are treated as warjacks or war beasts for the purposes of power attacks.
No, not as war beasts. It says warjacks.
Right, but they can be targeted as... Never mind. It's not what's going over.
They're counted as warjacks if targeting.
If targeting?
Yeah.
So when they are treated as warjack, if they are targeting something?
Or
if something is targeting them.
When a monstrosity performs a power attack or a model performs a power attack against a monstrosity.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's the distinction?
Depending on if you're reading prime or primal.
Jack Hunter person?
No. Well, they're not warjacks. They're just treated as warjacks while performing power attack.
Does anything that has Jack Hunter have power attacks?
No.
Okay.
And it wouldn't matter anyway, because they're only treated as warjack for the purposes of the power attack.
Yeah, I mean, at the point you're...
So I can weapon lock you is all that really means.
What that means.
All right.
But does it have 5 open hands?
It does not. It also does not have 5 heads. Why not? I don't know. Okay. I think we're done. Thank you for listening. This has been Brandon.
Max. Remember, Age of Egos, Daka Daka. See you there.
And Spence.
Jeremy.
Goodbye.
No, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Why would they want to leave us?
Go away.
I
don't think you should be doing that. Please don't. Oddly, that went away. I no longer hear that.
Yeah. Brandon, did you go deaf?
I did not.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I mean, maybe.
Yours is.
He now understands what has happened.
We need to actually just have different names for all of them. Like, okay, so this one is Zapdos, and the other one is
I take Articuno. Articuno.
That's not any of them.
It's not a bird, though.
None of them have that. That's
What's the Hydra? Is there like a Hydra-ly...
That is the Glacial King. Articuno. Sir.
Is it a Hydra-chew?
Hydra-chew.
It's a Hydra-chew? That wasn't...
I can't even remember what the Firebird's name is.
Like
What's the fucking Firebird's name?
Fuck.
Moltres.
There you go. That's the Hydra.
It's Maltese Falcon.
So back to what I was saying about how cool they all need their own nicknames. Let's name the ugly one that I don't like.
Oh, the Blightbringer?
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
Just call it Resident Evil. That's
I'm gonna call
close enough.
The epic fat piece of shit that doesn't do anything.
It might not. It looks like it's supposed to have ranged attacks, but I'm not actually sure.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, Legion doesn't need anything better because they already got the best Colossal or Gargantuan.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's what I was telling him. It's going to be like the support-based one, like Helios, and then the Archangel is going to be the beater.
You keep saying Helios, and I don't know anybody Helios at all in the game. Like, I don't know.
Helios Coptos.
The Retribution second Colossal.
Oh,
Retribution's
Did you really forget?
It's not a faction.
That's true.
Like, how many times have I told you?
How bad is it that
all the main factions are getting new Colossals? And you're like, what about Retribution?
How bad is it that everybody has two Colossals and Minions still doesn't have one?
Yeah, I was about to say, is like, do you know what wasn't in the video? The Dracocodile. Why are you laughing?
Because I'm so glad it wasn't.
I kind of hoped it was. Maybe it'd come out and it was a light. That would have been fucking hysterical.
No, they already got it. It's a Swampor.
That's true.
I honestly thought they were going to get one, but...
Yeah.
The Pharaoh.
I do wish they kept with the original thing because they were going to make Swampor their Gargantuan. It was just going to have like tentacles all over the fucking place.
You know, you could do all kinds of really great stuff with like, you know, Signar and just running the storm wall and then whatever. You just jam a storm wall into something and it's suddenly effective. I think that they should do that with Pharaoh. Like, fix the faction by giving them a Colossal that's stupid good.
Which one? Which faction?
Pharaoh.
So you want to give them like a meat version of
the
storm wall?
No.
Yeah.
I was thinking the dwarf one.
The Earthbreaker.
That just automatically tunes itself up.
The Pig Breaker. Yes, I'm okay with this.
Because it's going to cost 20 points.
We're okay. It's what other 20 points of Pharaoh do you
I'm
want
not okay
less?
with this because that will literally give them a single Defender's Ward target, and I don't want that.
What if it's just a conquest with a pig head?
I'm not
call
okay.
it an Acadia strat.
I'm not okay with that.
Normal. You know what? Their Colossal's actually just going to be after Barnabas. I keep saying Barnabas. After Carver falls asleep and Arcadius finds him, and then he just turns him into a hulking monstrosity, and now he is their Colossal, and it's also going to be their Warlock.
I think it would be funny if their Gargantuan was just both of the minion battle engines combined together. And they call it a Gargantuan, but it has no Gargantuan rules. It's just another battle engine with all the rules of the other two together.
For double the points.
I'd play that.
For 20 points.
Double.
Because Carver was like, you see that thing? Put a gun on it. And then he'd be like, get that fucking gun off there. Put that stupid rock thing on top. Put the gun back on there.
How many souls can it carry? Only 3?
5 on the Sacral Vault.
5?
Yeah.
You realize how many shots that would have if you just stacked both of those? It would actually probably be good.
It would. No, both
because
of them
you'd have 2 D3 gunshots from the pig.
The Meat Thresher's actually good. It's just not.
And you'd have
D3
D3 shots from that, so you'd have D9 shots.
That sounds pretty good. I like D9s.
I don't even know what that means. But
it's a D9. It's random 1 through 9.
Kind of, but you can't have one.
D9. Yeah, there's a D9.
I understand, but you can't roll up 1 shot, is what I'm saying, so it's not really a D9.
Oh, yeah, it's better than a D9. It's because your minimum
3
is
to
3.
9.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And then if you
what the hell are you guys?
I don't get that many souls.
D12 versus 2D6. You know, 2D6 is better because you have a higher average. Because 1's not an option. Spence, where are you going? Oh, you're getting water. I can't hear you.
It's a little baby water.
Hey, babies. Hey, babies.
So anyway, I just want everybody to know, just because Max wanted me to tell everybody that I hate animals.
Small, large.
That's so much worse.
I hate babies and we're pregnant.
Well, I am going to be a father. I just haven't picked out which kid I'm taking yet.
She's go to preschool with a rape just in case.
I'm telling you, just
Turn him into the van.
go to a park and just sit on a bench till another parent sits down next to you, strike up conversation, and like when they're like, "So which one's yours?" Just tell them you haven't picked one yet. Yeah. They get really concerned.
Which one's yours?
I haven't picked. Which one's yours?
You're all right.
I don't really want a black one, but
I'm gonna send you some more
God.
controversy. Spence, I'm gonna send you some more videos tonight that you have.
Thanks,
to watch.
Obama.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just bought Game of Thrones and another TV, so I'm like, that's all I've been doing.
is watching Game of Thrones on your new TV.
But see, the
it's
thing
better
is
than the
that
old one.
you can watch Game of Thrones on your new TV and put something up on the old TV. At
The old
same
TV's in
time.
my bedroom.
Why are they not in the same room?
Yeah.
You retarded.
I told you how my apartment is, okay? Like,
There's just piles of things in rooms.
My
You're like,
best-
I don't know why I have this.
my best friend who I've known for years, I mean, like, it's literally been like 20 years, came over to my apartment 2 weeks ago. He
I haven't
walked
been
in.
there yet.
No, my other best friend. So walks in, and like, he looks at my apartment, stops, and he looks at me and is like, dude, are you okay? And I still was like, you don't live here. He's known me. We lived together for like 8 years. My apartment's fucking immaculate, okay? I own a carpet rake, so all my carpet can flow the right direction. I use it as I walk through my apartment, okay? It's fucking creepy.
Every time you walk through your
Yes, my apartment's creepy. When you walk into it, people freak out. I love it.
I think you have problems.
I'm just saying, all my labels are facing the correct direction.
Well, that's not uncommon.
Yeah, there's no stubble in my sink from hair. It's like, I love it.
All right. So
is this how we get ants?
This is how we get it.
They avoid my place.
I'm going to go to his place and just, like, with 3 bottles of syrup and just pour syrup all over everything. It's been weeks trying to get that shit off.
Make sure it's corn syrup so it's nice and clear.
Yeah.
I had a friend who would come over to my place, like, when I lived with Adam and them, and my room and bathroom, everything was all perfect and immaculate. Adam's shit looks like, I don't know,
a nest.
What is it when, who are those people you don't like?
That's a loaded question.
Everyone,
Yeah. When they all live in the same hovel, it's horrible. Like, they look like they live
let's
in
hear religious people.
Okay, so they all lived effectively in some sort of European hostel, and my room was immaculate. So we'd have friends come over and they'd be like, let's go to my room, and knowing how freaked out I'd get, they'd move one thing. So I'd come home from work, and I'd be pretty much there for 3 hours trying to figure out who moved what and where it's at, and it's bad. Like, they would hide shit in my room, knowing that if I, like, went there and found out, I would freak out for days. I'm kind of crazy when it comes to my house.
New objective in life.
Yeah, there's a reason you'll get to know where I live.
I'm just going to follow you home.
I can... No, you can't.
Maybe.
Don't. I will change all 3 of my locks.
Don't.
I'll put my phone in your car and turn on my Find My Phone app.
I have a
Go to your
universal
house.
door opener in my trunk. It's called a brick.
It's a brick. That'd be so
It
terrible.
generally opens up windows.
Most things.
But,
It opens most windows for its try. Sometimes you have to throw it twice.
In games,
Sometimes you miss.
in role-playing games a long time ago, we came up with a maneuver referred to as the brick choke. Because, I mean, technically when you're trying to choke somebody, you just want to get them to stop breathing. So what you do is you take a brick and keep hitting them with it until eventually they stop breathing.
I'm going to choke him. Bash.
It's a
Bash.
brick
Bash.
choke.
Is he asleep yet? Bash.
Is he done breathing? Okay, I'm going to keep hitting him with the brick. It worked.
Might need to implement that. Okay. So, anything else we want to talk about?
Zapdos. Zapdos.
I like Zapdos.
The thing
Do they have that much? I mean, I know that that's actual podcast pro. Do they have that much electrical damage in the faction? Besides, like, Kruger spells and stuff like that?
Besides Kruger? No.
Like, do they have a... They don't have
battle
a
engine.
unit, do they?
The battle engine, maybe.
Oh, yeah, it does have an electrical attack.
And
No, wait, hold on.
Fire and...
Brenos' gun?
is that electrical?
It has Thunderbolt. I thought it was electrical gun. It's probably...
Shut up.
I honestly thought that.
That's not real.
What if it is?
It's still not going to let him see the table.
Lightning tendrils make your damage type electrical? It doesn't, does it?
No, but it gives you electrolyte, which is electrical damage.
Yeah.
It's basically Kruger and, like, the battle engine.
Yeah, but what did they say it was going to do? It was going to, like, increase the damage from electrical?
Yeah, hold on. That's for the real cast.
Oh.
So we're going to cover the Colossals first.
Yeah, I think we'll just go through that, and we'll talk about the errata at the end.
Okay,
No, we
so
don't need to talk about the errata.
Yeah,
It's fucking dead, and we don't
we're
have a
just
circle
gonna
player.
Talk about.
We can mention
I don't
it.
think it's that big a deal either.
We're gonna cover the
It's-
errata generally.
It's not that big.
I'm not saying we should talk about it for an hour because it has been done.
And nobody's gonna come listen to a bunch of fucking idiots that don't know what the fuck Circle does.
Circle is a faction?
Yeah, it is, I think.
Unfortunately.
Hordes is a faction?
I'm going to give me a minute.
Just go to
I want you to read me the description of them.
Which
of
part?
what?
I don't know. Circle.
Okay.
No, sir. No. I think the artists look disappointing. Next. I'm going to enjoy my bronze back.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of Pharaoh Gargantuan.
What?
Did you just search Feral Gargantuan?
No, one of the Colorado guys. Customized. Something? Looks like a little bit of every single large base model.
All right. Interesting.
All right, so,
Oh, wait, is that the Warp Wolf with Juggernaut arms?
which, by the way,
Did you see that?
No, it's part of a storm wall. and-
Okay, never mind.
if you listen to this and you
Conquest
play the
and-
IKRPG, stop ruining my forum experience. Every day I get on there and someone's like,
Gutter Snipe OP, bro.
That's
What is happening?
damn it.
Maybe we'll talk about that at the end.